Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me and Energy Time, baby. We're going all the way to the moon. A little bit of pullback ain't nothing for us. 89,000 for Bitcoin. Strong, baby, strong. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Massive gains in the trading group. Dang, man. Made 10K last night just day trading. Are you kidding me? You make 10K in a day, you're going to be in a pretty good spot. Shout out to each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Let's get this lemon into the water. It's an old lemon, but I think I can get some squeeze out of it. Got a lot of lemons in the house that need to be used up. Ooh. This decalcify the pineal gland. Okay, that's why I do it. This gets yourself at another level. You'll achieve greatness by drinking the lemon water. I know you don't believe me, but just keep doing it and see what happens. I worked out today. I feel absolutely amazing. Today is a gift from God, and I know it. You know, 86,400. 86,400. I'm not talking about Bitcoin. Why am I saying 86,400? If you can guess why, you just may get a prize, right? So shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on in to Bitty Bitty Bitcoin. I got to put this down because it's hard to kind of maneuver. But, man, we got it, baby. We got it. Best technical analysis of 2023. And we're going for 2024. Not one day off. We've hit more gains, I believe, I think I've made more Bitcoin calls than anyone in the game. And I'd like to go toe-to-toe with them, and they can go through every single day that I went live and every single day. And, you know, let's see what happens. But God, who cares? It's not about, you know, I compete with myself and no one else, and God is here. God bless you all. Best TA of the game, though. Crypto Lifer, baby. Let's go. Shout out to anyone who just jumped into the live, feeling good, feeling the energy, feeling the vibes. We love you. We appreciate you. And we want to see you do unbelievable things with your life. I want to be invited to your multi-bedroom mansion. I want you to fly me somewhere in your private jet. I'm hoping you'll learn from me, and then your life will be so good. And when I'm an old man and I'm 70 years old and no one cares about me, all of my students that are in their 20s and 30s now, because I'm 40. So when I'm 70 and you're 50, or I'm 70 and you're 60, 30, 50, and 40 years old, everyone that's 20, 30 years below me there, or I guess not 10 years old, but you know what I'm saying, is there to take care of me. You guys are going to bring me places. You're going to show me your trades. You're going to be like, look what I'm doing. You're going to teach me about, and I'm going to be old just like loving it and just being like, these are the people that have got me going. You know, these are the people that bring, so I'm doing this so my life has fruition later on. My wife said, I'll always care about you. Thank you, baby. And so will my daughters, right? But God bless you all for being here. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. 1,466 people here on the jump, and it's going to start growing as time goes on. God bless everybody here. Thank you for being here. And we got coins to look at. We got trades to look at. I was able to figure out that Bitcoin was likely going to drop to the downside here because it lost the 5-bit to 200 MA. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go over it. I was able to cover how long I was in and not lose a boatload of money. And so it's all about either, preparing, saving, or using your strategy to keep yourself on point, right? And that's what we did this morning. 89,500 is battling, but we did get a bounce. Let's see if this is going to bring us back to 90K. If you look at Bookmap, there's a lot of liquidity to the downside. Of course, there's people who missed out and are hoping they can get 85,000. I don't know if they're going to get it. I believe price will be front run by most of the lows we believe we're going to have, but you never know. I'm open-minded, and I'll take it one step, one day, one candle at a time. Okay. In your life, each day, you have 86,400 seconds in a day. Your day is comprised of 86,400 seconds. If I were to give you $86,400, but at the end of every day, that balance would turn back to zero. And you could only spend as much as, you would spend every 86,400 of it, wouldn't you? Why would you leave a little left if you knew at the end of the day it was going to be gone? But you could spend it all day. That is your time. The difference between a multimillionaire and a person who's just like living a regular life, and someone, is, and I guess some people aren't living a regular life and it's not about money, so I don't want to make it all, but the person between someone who's achieving their goals at a high level, all right, and someone who is not, is they're using that time to the high, they're prioritizing their time. Your time, you only have so much time in a day. That's why I always say thank you so much for giving your most precious asset, and that is your time, because I'm consciously referring back to the idea that you're giving me something so precious to make my stream amazing, and I do not ever want to take advantage of that. The very simple fact that you're even here, the conscious nature of your viewing is something to behold, because it builds my channel up. I have more views because you decide to come here. You make me look good because you give me your time. I will never disrespect that notion. I will bring it up. I will talk about it. I will be conscious of it. And God bless you for being here. Let's get into the charts. Let's talk about what's happening to Bitcoin. You're a little spooked. You're scared. What's happening? I thought we were going to the all-time highs. Is this it? Was that the top? Are we going to go down for months now? You know? Where are we going? What's happening? What's going down here with BTC? And we're going to have a fun time breaking it down for you. So if you're in my trading group, we called the reversal here yesterday. We got the bounce. We kept going. We kept going. I took profits, got back in here. We got a bounce. Beautiful. We were up actually in the trade I gave this morning. It was swimmingly well. Could have moved the stop loss to break even and collected on the trade. Yeah, Forest is hot. It's funny. People keep telling me Forest is the next meme. And I think you were the one that said it yesterday, though. So we're going on what you said. So I don't know, man. I'm like, was it him? I hope it was somebody else. It would be. I like when like 2 or 3 people give me those notions. And that's what I love about the stream. Shout out to Brent starting out with the super chats. I'm going to be a little more attentive to them because we got new people here that don't understand the show as much. So we're just going to skip on into Brett and into his super chat real quick. Forrest, just because I want to get it out of the way too. You know what I mean? They pile up and then I'm like, dang. Forrest on Soul, right? Wow, you talked about it last night and it was at 23 and it doubled up. Like I saw it. I mean, you gave it last night. You said Forrest. And I did look at it. I'm like, did I buy some? I bought something last night. Bought something. I was memeing last night a little bit. I mean, look, the cup and handle to the upside. Wow. Beautiful call for Forrest, man. Thank you. You talked about it yesterday, maybe even the day before. Wow, Bitcoin looking to lose 89,000 though. But man, this man gave us Forrest at, you know, a $23 or $26 million market cap. This thing has already doubled with a lot of lock liquidity. Looks pretty cool. What is Forrest? What does it do? What's the narrative? What's the cult-like theme here? All right. I should know. Look, it looked like it said my name. You saw that? That was creepy. It said, what? What was that? What the? It's weird. It said SAM, right? I was like, what the hell? Oh, San. I think it said San, right? But like, what's the story, Morning Glory? You know, how many people in the Telegram? How many people in the Twitter? Mycelial interface bridging test primate. Rainforest U.S. Advisory Board member. Sans Forest. Interesting. I don't know what they're trying to do here. You know what I mean? I'm not picking up on it yet. They're obviously being super communicative. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm being funny here. Anyway, that's Forrest. Let's jump back into Bitcoin. So, look, I had support sitting up there a little bit higher, like 89.1 or something. But then when I readjusted, I did see that we had this bounce right there on that candle. The Telegram's got 3,600 members, 921 people online right now. I'll say hello. What is Forrest? Like, what's the gist? I asked them in the Telegram. What is it? Can you check Baby Doge, please? Jerome Powell speaking today at 3. Who cares? I don't really care. It might sway the market a little bit. It might. So anyway, looking at these key levels, we knew that this was a symmetrical triangle. They're 50-50. I didn't look at like a bull pennant. I said, man, this could go either way this morning when we did our update. And what's interesting is if you really look at it closely, despite it being, it was just so fast. Like what they did was nasty. It was a very vicious move. So like I've been in the trade, right, from about here, and then just slowly. I was up like 250, 300. And then next thing you know, it was like, then I was up $20. And I saw how close we got to the 200. And I said, you know what, if this is just a dip and they get back inside, I'll watch closely. And I was like, I will get back inside with a stop there and I'll ride, you know? So I said, cut it off with the $20. And that's exactly where I stand right now in my futures trade. So I'm kind of standstill. So what I like being standstill because sometimes I have a plan and I'm already in the middle of it. But here you're going to see me kind of what I do and pivot here as I'm sitting in price action. I had a huge day yesterday. Like my net worth hit an all-time high. I made 10 grade on the trades. It's just like all my futures trades hit. And yes, I could have shorted this. I mean, there was a bearish, and I even saw that as a bearish div, but they bounced it. See, last night I was like, that's sketchy. They bounced it off the bottom of the channel. We were in greens this morning. And then literally within a second, that thing started to move down. Like that took like a minute, 2-3 minutes. It was a nasty move. And what I see is a lot of leverage traders that are close to the bone. I'm going to talk about something in a while too. You want to stay tuned. I'm going to explain to you why higher leverage traders are going to be a little more risky, at certain times. And I'm going to explain why in a second. And you're going to see the logic behind what I'm telling you if you stay tuned and decide to sit tight here for the next few minutes on the live stream. So we knew we were going to get it. And then I said, watch your 5-minute Tutoring. If we lose that, we will drop to the downside. And we did lose that and we dropped further to the downside, right? So someone said, yeah, I got absolutely demolished yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that. After being up a couple thousand in the morning, I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, I did not go back into the markets. Yeah, that can happen, man. People get extended. You know what's been helping me, in the last year and a half is in my leverage trades. For me personally, and it's for me, all right? I make long-term, I don't do too well in long-term leverage trading. I just don't. I hold, I wait, and the trades that will go into 10 or 20,000, I always take them at 3,000 because I'm more of like a day, And then if I go too hard on the line, I could, I found because I have to bet so heavy, and then I'm in heavy risk, and I don't do well when I'm in heavy risk. It's just not my thing. Like I was able to make over $3,000 yesterday leverage trading, right? And I started off with minimal risk, but then increased it when I saw that the probabilities were higher in the chart. See, I'll take the risk, but the risk has to be right at the right time. I can't just consistently take big risk. That's why you see me make 1 for 300, 1 for 300. But then you're like, but if he makes 1 for 300, how did he make $3,000 yesterday? It's like, because I don't always take 1 for 300, but that's how I regularly trade to keep myself at par. The key is not to lose money. You know what I mean? Yeah. He said, if you're wrecking your account, you're using more than 1% of your margin on each trade. Be careful. Do not full port. Take profits. Amen. Exactly. Like I'll have 27,000, 26,000 in the Lev account, and my trades will be like $1,000, $3,000. Like I don't use my margin. You see what I mean? 3% a day keeps the hot doctor away over there. Yeah. I took 3,500 in one trade and shut it down. Amen. Exactly. Who made gains yesterday and are still holding gains right now and they're excited? That's me right now. My leverage account is doing well. So look. This is a bear flag now. You're breaking down, and when you lose 88.9, you're coming right down to this key level because you bounced right there. That next zone is going to be 88,176 if we don't get a bounce sooner than later. All right? And let me get into my magic now. I've been a little it's been we had all-time highs. It's going to take me a couple days to settle down, everyone. You got to give me, I'm a human being. I'm not a computer or a cyborg. Even though you think I am, it may be possible, but it's not. I'm really organic flesh and bone. So look, there's a possible double bottom here. Possible, right? 88,005, 88,426. But I mean, that's ugly. That's like, they live it like they fake the shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. They're doing that a lot too. They're faking reversals. Look, they got, look, they were like, oh, we're going to reverse it. They got a bunch of people to bite on the right shoulder. Then what did they do? They went and nailed anyone who put the stop below the right shoulder. See, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to see my trading style switch. When I trade Bitcoin now, I'm going to be trading more like the 15, the 7 and up. I'm going to trade the 1 minute only for very small amounts of time, in and out. I used to trade the 1 minute throughout for reversals. Now I'm watching what they're doing. Like today, pumped it up. They got everyone to go long, right? Because why not? Why wouldn't we were already long, thank God, with stop losses down here, and we were long since here. So when this kind of started to crash, I was still in profits, thank the goodness, and I could cut it off, and I didn't, But it doesn't always work that way, right? At all, So I get to sport this beautiful $10 win, but it wasn't a loss. You see what I'm saying? That's just the key. That's the key. Bit of a double bottom here for Bitcoin on the 1 minute time frame. I find people say the 1 minute has noise, but I'm telling you right now, had you waited for the 1 minute to lose the 200 MA, which I'm going to show you in a second here, if you're new, this yellow line, and what I could do too is you could just, I wonder, can you duplicate? I never duplicated an indicator. I forgot. Can you copy and paste it? Yeah, you can, right? So you can copy paste anything. And what I like about, and this will only have the 200, right? So we can, and you'll see a beautiful trade is when we lose the 200, you open up a short. It's such a, and you could trade a bot to do this and just go long and short. The greatest trade forever was when Bitcoin crossed the 200 MA here on the 1 minute time frame. Many of my entries start on my bigger trades by watching how the 1 minute reacts. You got people in my trading group understand this very, very well. So if you look, you can backtest this on multiple assets. Right there, when you lose the 200 MA in the 1 minute, that's the beginning of the bigger move. Then you'll see your 4-hour dump, your 1-hour dump, and you'll be like, and I could show you all the big dumps and I can backtest them all back. Look at this dump here. Started when we lost the 200 MA at 96,240. You know what I mean? Now, these are awesome scalps. If you know how to trade, you can make a living on this move right here on each day. We do it many times in the channel. Why am I not in a trade right now? I've had an amazing week. I'm bewildered as all. I woke up this morning, was in a long and covered, and now I'm sitting here. And yes, I would have loved to have shorted the top right there at 91.5, and I did see some bearish, or 91.8, and I did see some bearish div. But I'm predominantly a long trader. You got to know your bias. Like, what is your bias? I'm predominantly long. Like today, I might catch a reversal on a meme coin and make 5 racks. You know what I mean? Because someone else would be in a Bitcoin short right now, and they wouldn't really be to see. So I'm going to see what I'm going to see. They're going to see what they're going to see based on their trading parameters. Like when you're a short trader, you're going to see more short opportunities. When you're a long trader, you're going to see more long opportunities. These are just the facts of life, okay? Let's do our top-down analysis for you guys, and we're going to break it down. But right now, we're seeing a bit of a double bottom here for Bitcoin. The key area is if you can get back above 89,666. See right there? You get above that, you use that as support. Boom. Then you break back above the 200 MA, and we could actually get a pretty swift reversal here. Almost an Adam and Eve kind of vibe. Bit of a double bottom there for Bitcoin, but only time will tell. Is it a boss reversal? Is it a fake out dump? Like, are we continuing just to make some type of bear flag here that'll eventually continue further to the downside with a measured move somewhere around $85,000? Bookmap suggests that we do go to 85. That's where most of the liquidity lies, and it's waiting for us down here at 85,000. But are we going to get there for sure? Nobody knows. I know nothing but the fact of my ignorance. We're going to take it one step, one candle, one day at a time here. So 1 minute reversal looks interesting. 5 minute reversal, possible. Do we have a bit of, we got a little bullish divvy here on the 5. And to tell you what, dips are for buying. Like, this is where you buy some BTC, and people would laugh at me, spit out your coffee, but in my humble opinion, these dips are for buying. Right? You may never be able to get Bitcoin below 90,000, 70, you know what I mean? There's a chance this rips back up, and then you look back on these times like, man, what was I thinking? So the people who are in fear right now are the people that are going to miss out on the best opportunities. I buy whenever we get a little bit of a pullback in a bull market. Every dip is for buying, in my humble opinion. The fear and greed still at 88 has me a little stressed. Every time that's then that high, we've had a massive dump. And we've been on a massive, like a rally that I've almost never seen. So, but do we just stay up here for months at a time? That's yet to be determined. We've never seen a rally like this in the history. We've never seen an ETF. It's the biggest ETF in the history of the world. We've never seen that. Bitcoin has a lot of, never have seen before. So that's the tricky thing about trading though, is you have your probabilities, you stick to them, and then you start believing in this nonsense. I have to tell myself we're below the 200 MA right now. Until we get back above it, I'm bear. You see, for the day, like for the temporary moment, until this gets back above this yellow line, I have to remain bearish. We get above the yellow line. As you can see many times, that is the movement back to the upside. Okay. I'm going to do what's called a top-down analysis right now. If you're just watching the show, we're going to start all the way from the weekly and go backwards to the smaller time frames. You're eventually going to meet me back where we are. We're there. Nice little bounce for Bitcoin. Back above 89,000. And a move that fast to the downside usually renders a move that fast back to the upside. Thank you, sweetie pie. I can't be quiet, though. I run a show. I love you, though. My daughter literally just told me to be quiet because the baby's sleeping. If she knew how much this voice made her, she would never tell me to be quiet. Funny, when I lost my voice for that day, I realized how much money my voice made me. I was like, man, my voice, like, just using my voice alone, I'm like, I got to use my voice. I'm like, I can't use my voice. I can't do nothing. I find it, I guess I could be the quiet trader. I could just be like. Also, when announced sole winner for the X post. Yeah, might as well do it right now. Thank you, Still Nasty. Appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, we'll do the Soul winner today. I appreciate you because it's been a whirlwind. My Twitter resume doesn't show on the 5-minute time frame. It depends on if that's on your on Bitcoin. It should. That means you're on you're on an exchange that added Bitcoin like just not too long ago. I don't know what that's happening, but if you go on Binance or Bitcoin all-time history index, that will not happen. Something's wrong. So look, see how the 200, I just want to put on, see how when we got above the 200 there on the weekly, that was your time, that was the beginning of a massive bull run. Whenever you escape the 200, we go on a bull run. Eventually, you will come back down. This rally is so crazy, it makes me wonder if we're going to have a nasty crash back down to continue back to 100K. It's just one of the biggest legs I've ever seen Bitcoin make, and it usually comes back after that. I'm being honest. I don't like doing that. I'm just being honest, right? But so far, let's take a look at the weekly. The weekly is beautiful. However, starting to pull back half of its gains in there at that high. What was the high for Bitcoin here on Binance was 93,265 and 64 cents for BTC. And, you know, it was going to close like a full green candle. We still got 3 days and 9 hours. How do I know that? Right click, go down, and hit countdown to bar close on this right hidden menu. That's going to give you when the bars are going to close on any time frame. Very important that you look at that. Thank you for the super chat, Still Nasty. And may God bless you, Still Nasty. Yeah, we'll be showing the tweet. And yeah, we'll go over that in a little while. I asked people to make fun of me. And we put a tweet out. It was actually hilarious what I saw. I hope I can show it all. I don't know, you know what I mean? I believe I can. So the weekly looks great. To me, we could come back and bounce off 80K, you know? As I said yesterday and many times too, look, we didn't revisit this consolidation even when we pumped. We didn't revisit this consolidation even when we pumped. So we could clearly assume, but nothing is guaranteed, that we won't come back all the way here for a bounce like we normally would think. We didn't do it here. And we certainly didn't do it right there. We didn't come back for the bounce like off of this key level. You know, sorry, like right, you know, I'm not being perfect. But you know what I mean? Tells me we won't get the bounce off that level either. Okay. But you never know. We may very well, you know, what I'm not a huge fan of is I use the 21-day moving average, and we're starting getting a little too far away from the 21. I look at my 3-day, the same is happening here, and whenever the 3-day has given me a red candle, we had a little pullback, pullback, pullback. And so, as sad as this says, it may give us some prices here for altcoins to be able to scoop up. And there's definitely a chance that the 3-day and or the daily head back down to the 21-day moving average. Also a chance that we go on an upward trending flag. How do I know what's going to happen? The 4-hour will be your guide. The 1-hour will be your guide. You'll begin to lose the 1-hour 200 MA. You'll head down, you'll lose the 400, 200. These things will begin to show you where you're likely going to go. It's a successive movement from the 1 minute to the 5. I've been studying this, so most people don't know that the 1 minute holds the key to the market. They don't think it does, you know. I heard some guy today talking, he's using the 200 MA, and he called it a noodle, and he sells it. Are you kidding me? I give you everything for free here. I could disguise all of these signals and name them the Sammy thing, and then charge you for it. I've never done that. You know, when you have a lot of knowledge other people don't have, there's a lot of responsibility not to take advantage of other people, in my humble opinion. You know what I mean? And so when I think about it, it's like, I realize that like when God gives you the knowledge and you're able to obtain the knowledge and you work for it, you could disguise that knowledge and sell it on people, or you could give it away for free. You know what I mean? Now, you'd say, well, why the trading group? The trading group is to keep you honest and consistent. You pay $99 a month to keep coming back so that you stay consistent. Without the trading group, you would be on your own and like you wouldn't have me to keep you on par. I am a drill sergeant. You got to keep up with me 7 days a week. That's enough. If you do that, I don't see how your life doesn't become more successful. You see what I mean? I'm pulling you towards success by you hanging out with me every day in that group. It's bigger than the charts. It's more about mentality, mindset, and keeping you on a path that make to greatness. You got to believe you're on it. 86,400 minutes in a day. How do you use them? How do you use them? The people that are getting ahead are not using their minutes the best. The people that are prioritizing their time in the greatest manner possible. That's why I don't want to waste your time here on the stream, and that's why I'm giving you life ideas and and how the keys to success every single day on this channel. I am a successful person. I can teach you how to become successful. I know the actual guidelines to success. I know it's focus, discipline, and consistency. But most people can't keep those things up because for whatever reason, their emotions, their life, their girlfriend, somebody dies, the dog dies, something happens and sets them back. Depression. My mom died in front of me on Thanksgiving. You couldn't write a worse story. It was actually the greatest story ever because God took her around her family and not alone. Had I ever come to find my mother had died alone, I think the pain that I would have felt today would have crushed me to the point where I wouldn't be able to speak right now. But she died with me. I was in front of her on her last moments on this earth. I was able to share her last moments on this earth. What a blessing that was for me. I turned that into a tragic event, into a great event. As Christians, we celebrate life. As Christians, we celebrate death because death is the beginning of a new life. Amen. Amen. I will see my mother again. There is no reason to cry, for God is good and God is great. Amen. Amen. It's bittersweet, but it's life. If I didn't give up, then you have no reason to be depressed over a lost leverage trade, over wrecking your account. Someone's here licking their wounds today in this live stream, feeling bad for themselves, feeling sorry because you lost the only $5,000 you had, right? You're down and out. I know how you feel. I've been there 100 times. An expert is simply someone that just makes every mistake in a narrow field, my friends. I've done what you've done. I'm not better than you. I've just pushed forward to the point where I finally won enough. You get it? I'm not a genius. I'm not amazing. I'm a simple dude who does the same thing every day. It's a very simple way to be. Consistency always isn't sexy. Discipline isn't the greatest. But you know what? The rewards you get from it are unending. You can go wherever you want, whenever you want. You can buy whatever you want, whenever you want. You can do whatever you desire at any moment in time. But you know what? You don't because you have discipline. Very interesting, right? How it all comes into play. So, I'm sorry I went on a tangent there. So here's our daily. Our daily could very well come back down to this 21-day moving average. You have to be prepared for this idea. We've talked about it many times. I've been pulling the Fibonacci, right? Some would even pull from this impulse and say, maybe we come back to 77,000. 76, 77 would be a great place to start back to go back to 100K. I just want to be realistic because there's everyone else is telling you that it's up only, and it very well may. I don't know what's going to happen. See, the difference between me and most people online is I'm not telling you what's likely going to happen. I'm telling you that I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, and I'm taking it one step, one day, one candle at a time. And if I made $3,000 yesterday, then I can dang well do it again. You know what I'm saying? And that was just leverage trading. I made $10,000 in total between a couple swing trades, and the main trade was Fred. I made about $5,000 off of Fred. So this looks like it could come back down here to the 618 Fibonacci and get a bit of a bounce to the upside. That's something we have to take into account. We do see some support for Bitcoin at 87.8. That's going to come into play, and I'm going to mark that on our daily. But you have to understand that this is a possibility, and putting some limit orders down between 70, 72, and 78,000 may not be a bad idea. You just may catch them. You may never catch them. But hey, it's there, right? If you have it on the sidelines to give, and you can pull it away after a key area gets brought back, then by all means, that's something that, a limit order. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You do whatever makes you happy. I don't know what you're doing, but I like to put limit orders down in key areas, right? So, now when we look at the 12-hour and the 22, which we did talk about, and the 12-hour, the daily is getting really bearish here on that candle. The 12-hour has a bullish engulfing candle. A bearish engulfing candle. Excuse my language. I misspoke. That's a bearish engulfing candle on the 12-hour time frame. That's not a good sign. Overbought stochastic pointing down to the RSI. It tells me that we're in for a bit of a pullback here for Bitcoin. This could have been and then you got a bearish divergence here too. So we saw the bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame as well, which we're about to get to. The 8-hour too as well looks like it could be making a shoulder, a bit of a head, and even maybe a right shoulder and come on down. We could get a bounce back up to 90K, 90,800 one more time to induce some more longs. And we can even bounce here and make a flag. Like, I don't want to say it's all bearish, but the charts are going to tell us today what's likely going to happen. I'll tell you that. So now we go to my 4-hour, basically my favorite time frame. It's so accurate. And the 4-hour is very oversold, but yet pointing to the downside. And again, just here, you can have momentumous moves to the downside just because when you're low, like, look, we got low here. We were just getting low and we're going to bounce. No, we went lower from that area. We could be doing the same thing here. It's about the moving averages. It's about support or resistance. Everyone uses like an indicator and then they're like, oh, but the indicator was low. It always goes up, doesn't it? That's just not the case. It's supposed to, but it's actually in the low momentum area. You want to see it cross the dotted line and really start to change. But, I mean, you can clearly see there's bearish divergence here. I called it out on the 4-hour. I actually opened a short yesterday, and it started to cook. I was right here, and it started to cook nice. Then it ripped back up, and I took profits right around here. Then we ripped up, and they caught me in that symmetrical triangle, right? Which, I'll be honest, 90% of the symmetrical triangles that I found in the last 2 years have broken to the downside. So whenever I put out a symmetrical triangle, there is a high likelihood I believe, that we're going to dump more than we pump. So we put this out to the trading group last night. I said, that's bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. And I was assuming we were going to start to dump yesterday, but then we got this crazy pump. And then they did that nasty move of the 1 minute today. And now, look, you have a bearish engulfing candle on the 4-hour time frame too as well. And that's going to close in 16 minutes. Very, very bearish. So let's kind of go over what we're seeing here. We had support of resistance right there at 88.9. We blew through it. Like, that was previous resistance. That should have been support. We went to the second one, and we're attempting to try to hold 88,700. You can see if we lose that, the next level in this 4-hour time frame takes you to about 86,000, 87,000. And then if we lose that, I'm really not big on the wicks. I guess, right here, there's a little bit of chop. There's also a high volume node, and the chop starts somewhere right there. So I could see 82,000 as another peak area. A lot of people that miss this run are going to have limit orders here. And they're also, I believe, and this is what I believe, they're going to front run price action. So if everyone thinks we're going to hit here, we'll come here and we'll probably bounce right there, because so many people believe there's so many orders down here that they buy early too. And that early mentality creates front running and it's just something to think about. So the 4-hour looks like it's going to continue down. It just looks likely. I'm not saying it's guaranteed at all. It just looks likely to me. These are projections, like we're going to make a falling wedge. You draw Fibonacci from here on the 4-hour just to be a little more, and you can see the area I'm really, really honing in on here is 82,800. That would be awesome if we pull back to 82. Let the fear and greed cook back at least to 68. I mean, that's 88 is just too high. At least somewhere back in here would be awesome if we got some serious fear, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. We may not get fear like that. We may never go past like neutral or this area throughout the bull run now. It may get pinned a little bit. But I mean, you're higher than you've ever been. I mean, look at the greed. It's insane. Oh, fine. You didn't hit max. But you got, there was max, right, in 2020. But you're getting dang close. Last March, we had that nasty dump. We're approaching the same amount of greed as March. It's just weird because altcoins didn't pump enough. So if they dump, when Bitcoin dumps here, they're going to take a pretty big hit. And it's kind of like, dang, man, and they kind of ushered a lot of people in. So just be careful. If you don't have the money to cover your position, in my humble opinion, do whatever you make you happy. But if I personally didn't have the money to cover my position, I wouldn't be getting in. Like if I didn't have if I put 50 grand, if I didn't have an extra 50 grand to buy the next low, I wouldn't go in. You see what I'm saying? Protect the purse. I know everyone wants to go, oh, this is life-changing, but always remember, man, you're the opportunity, not the market. Protect yourself. You're the opportunity. So 4-hour doesn't look amazing. We go to the 1-hour time frame, and this is what happened. And it's crazy. I called this reversal yesterday. We took like 18, 16 hours to reverse. And it took us like 1 hour to eat it all back. It's pretty disheartening, right? And so that was it. We were watching the symmetrical triangle, and it did break to the downside. So now let's take a look if we see anything there. And we see our key, and we know that 82,000 seems like a likely area. We can see how this looks kind of like a shoulder, a bit of a head and a right shoulder. It has some head and shoulder type of feels. And we can bring this down. You can see there's resistance, 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 bounce, 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 right? So that area, what level is that? 88.5, of course, right? The 500s, right? Because people are going to be speculative on the obvious areas. We lose 500, it's the point of control at 87.6. Lose 87.6, it's really back to this kind of double bottom area at about 86,200. Those are the areas that I'm going to be paying close attention to. And then the drop also be to 82. Another thing, I like to get in the 1 hour when the moving averages are super tight. We tend to pump up to the 200 MA. Flip the chart upside down and it looks like an inverted head and shoulder that's going to break up to the 200. I've seen that play out many times with some bullish divergence, right? And there's your 1 hour with bearish divergence too as well. Right there, right? So is it time to short the market? Is there more short to be had? It looks like there is to me. Looks like this is the beginning of a bigger pullback. Am I wrong? I could very well be. I'm not right 100% of the time. I've never been. I'm right most of the time. I'll tell you that. And I can say that with earnesty and not try to toot my own horn. But most of the time on this channel, if you see me call something, it likely happens. But it doesn't mean it happens every time. Very likely we're going to drop down to this 200 MA moving average here at 82,000. It just looks so likely to me after such a run up like that. Unsustainable. Nothing runs like that and doesn't pull back. And they gave you this rising wedge that broke out, faked out, broke back inside. Looked like it could break out again, broke down. They gave us this beautiful pennant that did the beautiful breakout today, came back for the retest. The retest did work, dropped again. So I do see more downside here for Bitcoin. Ooh, one clever idea here that I'm proposing. And there she goes, like as I speak, it's dropping hard, 88,250, you know. And so you got this support and resistance line right there. That's pretty strong resistance. You know, 90,005. And so a stop above 90,005 and see if you can let that puppy rip all the way back to 82,000. You could write this down, put it out right there. The entry would be now. You know, the 1 hour already gave you a lot, though. It would have been nice. I like to get in when the Stokes are high as we began to lose that. And again, how did it start? Let me show you. The 1 minute loses the 200 MA. That's the first thing that happens. And look, you make a descending triangle here on the 1 minute, which is a bearish pattern and looks like you got more downside here to go. And you got so many people that I believe are long and they're about to get liquidated long. These are great spot buys for your altcoins. You need these liquidations. And what if we bounce and it doesn't get liquidated? There's a chance, right? But to me, that's a very bearish pattern. Almost looks like it's trying to bearishly retest as we speak. Another cool way, let me show you here. I'm going to show you something on this chart here. And wait till 11:15 where we're going to do the soul extravaganza. People made fun of me. We're going to go through what people said about it. It's so funny, man. There's a bunch of artwork. It's ridiculous. I think you're going to fall out of your chair. It's absurd. And we're going to go over that and have a blast. So a one way to trade here is to short this right now with just a stop on the other side of the 200. You know, are we going to get all the way to the target there? It's crazy how far I have to go to get my, you know, wow, that's a scalpelino and a half. Back to 83,000. I don't like shorting Bitcoin. It was just at an all-time high yesterday. Feels a bit strange. But what I do know is every time we lose the 200 MA, we usually drop pretty nastily on the 15-minute time frame. Look how you shorted the last time we lost the 200 here on the 15. If I could even find it, it's been so long, but that would have been a beautiful short. That was a beautiful short. It just continued down for a while. That was a beautiful short like 3 times in a row. So it's just telling me the odds are in my favor if I short the market. Now, what you could do is if you're ready to short the 15 and you think it's okay, I like to short when the Stokes are high. However, it can continue to get drained when you're below the 200. You want to start looking at the 1 minute before you get into the short. And you want to just see, I mean, that's a head and shoulder pattern that looks like it's going to come and bearishly retest and continue down. This little rally to me just looks fake. Looks like your 1 minute's going to try to attempt to be a big boy, but just really not do anything and roll over. I see more bearishness. I see more people selling off than selling in. And I feel the fear. Like I can smell it. I don't believe in fear, you know what I mean? But I can see that the market is acting in fear. And people are erratic. Perfect time to buy right now, but people are going to start panic selling. The problem with this is too many people aren't spot buyers. Too many people are leveraged traders. And the key behind that is they're money hungry, not Bitcoin hungry. And the problem behind that is you're eventually going to get left with the bag. Even if you make $10 million in US Tether, they're going to print that to zero anyway. If you don't, in my humble opinion, figure out that Bitcoin is the answer, I don't know what to tell you. I figured it out 10 years ago, and I've been living lovely ever since. Not only lovely financially, but mentally, spiritually, because I'm aligned with my own thesis. I'm aligned with the way I live. Like, I don't give in. Of course, I have to use fiat, but I don't play with that fiat system. Like, I'm not a part of it. Like, mentally, I am not giving in spiritually to that level of control. I know it's a level of control. They print the money to zero. Why would I want to hold something that you can turn the value off of? Imagine if I handed you a dollar bill. And let's just say the dollar bill literally was inflatable. It was an inflatable dollar bill. Like just say dollar bills were actually inflatable. They hand you like a little blow up dollar bill. And how big your dollar bill depended on how much you could spend. And when it lost a little bit of air, you couldn't spend as much. And I had the ability to take the air out of it. Why the heck would you use that? That would be the worst thing you ever did in your life, using that dollar bill. So why would you use something that somebody else has the ability to lower the value of at any time? It doesn't make any sense. It's absolutely ridiculous. It goes against all our human reasoning, but yet people do it every single day. It makes no sense. So the second I got out of the dollar, I started living right. I wasn't living in a state of dis-ease anymore. Disease, right? Like, I basically had a feeling of what I was doing. Like, it was completely different. Such a good feeling. So I'm going to open the short here because it looks likely I'm going to win it. I could be wrong, and maybe I get hit off and I lose treat, you know. But I'm going to open the short here, see what happens. And we're going to cover, and if we get above the 200, I'm out of the trade. It's a very simple reasoning idea. They could fake us above it and then break it down, but they usually don't. Usually if you get back above that, your level is going to be okay. But let's see what happens. I could easily lose this trade. I'm not risking too much. Just add a little bit, keep myself in the game. You know, should be a day I should really just stop trading completely. But the odds look very highly likely that I'll win this in front of you guys. And I do like to win my trades in front of y'all. So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I don't want to see Bitcoin dump. I have a lot of, I like Bitcoin. It's going to hurt the altcoins and send some positions to the downside. It's not going to be the best. At the same time, it's going to create a buying opportunity for people that are willing and able. So it is what it is. That white line right there is the smooth moving average. It's very likely we're going to come down to that here on the 15-minute time frame. All right. If you took the trade, you're already printing, I'm the king of 3%. Show me 3. Oh, I didn't get it. Show me 3% and show it to me fast. A lot of times when you dump out of the descending triangle, like I showed you on the 1 minute, you will dump very fast. This is a very bearish pattern when you have a sloping downtrend and a flat bottom. It tells you that you're likely going to get a nasty drop. It's like the most consistent pattern I've ever seen. Flip it upside down, it is very similar to an ascending triangle. that when in an uptrend likes to rip to the upside as well. If you can short, you can long. If you can long, you can short. Could we reverse in a second and I could get stopped out? Yes, this is Bitcoin. What if some nation state decides this is the greatest price and starts to buy up the supply? I believe anything can happen. However, I'm not dabbling in those, what ifs. I'm staying inside of the technical analysis. The TA tells me that when you lose the 200 MA on the 15-minute time frame, you can get a pretty nasty drop to the downside. And so I'm taking that probability with me, but it doesn't mean I'm going to win every time. Okay? Once we lose 88, we're probably going to drop to 87.5 pretty fast. We will see what happens. This could easily reverse. Shorting Bitcoin usually is not a good idea the day after the all-time high. I didn't put 10 grand in there. You know what I mean? It's a $1,000 trade at 20x leverage. It's $20,000. All right. I'll be okay no matter what happens in the trade. Now, if we were to lose the smooth moving average, it tells me there could be an even bigger drop. After going over the top-down analysis with you, it looks very likely we're going to drop to the downside, but at the same time, I do not know. And that, my friends, is the most in-depth top-down analysis I could give you for Bitcoin, including a live trade. For the last 45 minutes, I don't think you'll get a better one. I really don't. We gave you Fibonacci levels. We gave you support and resistance. We talked about moving averages. Most channels just give you one of each. We cover the whole gambit for you, and we gave you a live trade. Again, if you don't know how to lever trade, please do not do that. Use demo trading right here and demo trade with fake money until you understand at least how to press the buttons. Sometimes you open up a short and you're putting the stuff in the wrong places. You want to get to know all that stuff with fake money before you start using real money. This is MEXC. If you want to jump into MEXC, please do. It's amazing. All right. Link in the description below. It has the lowest fees of any leverage trading exchange in the entire game. All right. I do love Weeks, though. Weeks is amazing. It's my second, or it may even be my first, depending. I go back and forth. I trade on them all the time. But Weeks is amazing. What I like about Weeks is a little faster on the stop loss movement, little quicker and attentive in some places, but fees are a little higher than MEXC as well. So it depends. You kind of pick, but this is also simple and easy. No KYC up to a certain amount, and it's very, very nice and simple. And that's not the case, everywhere else too as well. So Pepe's been hot. This follows Pepe. This is called 100 Pepe. If Bitcoin gets a bounce, this bounces, right? You know what I mean? Just, crazy ideas here. But this basically is a bet on the memes going back up to the upside after possibly a reversal. To me, I would love it if the stop just gets hammered to the downside, and I don't make any gains. But dang, look, I'm already up 5%, 4%. Beginning to print here a little bit. I don't like being right, and this is how you know I'm good at technical. I shouldn't even say that. I don't like being good at anything, like saying that like that. But this is how you know the technical analysis, if you use it, should serve you properly, because it's like, I don't want this to happen. I don't desire this to happen. My emotions wouldn't do this, but it's showing me what's likely going to happen. You see what I'm saying? So I just got to take the probabilities at hand. That's all I got to do. That's it. The 1 hour is steamrolling us, and it looks like it could take us at least down to 86,000, right? That might be a nice place to take some profit there. And I would love it if we just get a bounce out of nowhere. This turns into some type of inverted head and shoulder. We get back inside this pattern, and all they're doing was just getting the shorts to get crazy, and they rip us back up inside again. And they turn this into an inverted head and shoulder. And we laugh like 2 days later, like, you were scared. No, you were scared. No, you were scared. You know what I mean? I mean, these are possibilities with Bitcoin. Look, we're back at 88. I could get stopped out of this. Look at the way it's moving. In my humble opinion, shorting an asset isn't the best idea. I'm just going off of what I know with my lev trades in the 15-200, right? You understand? I'm not telling you I'm right. I'm not telling you I'm the smartest guy in the world. I'm not telling you that the call is stone cold. I'm telling you, let's see what happens. Instead of saying something, I'm doing something. See, I took the trade. I could say 100 things, and I could tell you which way I thought the market was going to go. But instead, I just took the trade. Right? Actions speak louder than words. My dad's favorite saying to me throughout my life, actions speak louder than words. My dad said it all the time, every single day. Shout out to everybody here. You want to jump in to the trading group. I know you do. You want juicy gains. You want to know how we made 10K yesterday and more, and how we're actually able to figure out where to long and short the market on a regular basis. I have a group of elite traders. Look, I looked at AA Cat on SUI, AAA Cat. This thing boomed for 290% gains, AAA on SUI. We talked about what was going to happen today, and we could see both parameters. And we said if we lost the 5-minute 2-MA, we would dump. We lost the 5-minute 2-MA. We did dump. DGen, right? Booming to the upside, 131.53% gains. That thing was a beautiful trade. Exactly where to hit your levels. We talk about how to put your stop losses. This trade for Bitcoin ripped to the upside out the flag. Booming. Yesterday, we called the rip for Bitcoin. PEPE out this move to the upside, 121. PEPE still booming. That's up even more. DGen up 5, what was this other one? Up 500%. Look at this thing. I called Fred right there. I called Fred right there. Said, watch Fred getting tight. And I saw like maybe a 60, 70%. Fred ripped for 575% gains. Became one of the hottest little coins in the game. You had no idea what Fred was, but I hooked you up with Fred, baby. Fred, man. PNUT blasting out this flag. Look at that. That was the flag. It ran up for 111% gains. Accurate call for Bitcoin, as we saw, was going to rip up, and we traded that flag recently. The gains just keep coming. AOIZ for 100% gave you a perfect place to accumulate above resistance and support there. Zephyr up 57. It just doesn't end. We got paid here. I could go over this. This is just from November 9th. It's the 14th. I usually do this every month and go over the month. And I have elite traders that they're posting these charts. Jupe for 69. He gave you the perfect cup and handle off of the Fibonacci levels. It's insanity. It is insanity. Alt layer ripped out of this flag for 10%. Some of them aren't huge. That actually continued. Accurate calls for Bitcoin on the long term, on the short term. I mean, it just continues to blow my mind, man. Hamster Protocol, when it made that massive move, and I don't know where it is now. We'll take a look at it. Big time before it pumped out of here. Grass, we gave grass when it first came out. That was just one grass trade. We gave a bunch of them. 57% out. That's a perfect flag with the entry right there. It bounced exactly as we spoke with the circled idea and the alert. Showed you how to put an alert there. You would have gotten an alert. It would have went off, and then you would have been able to take the trade. This Bitcoin flung to the upside. Another accurate call when I said we were going to go ripping all the way to 75,000. We hit the target. I called it back there. I showed you exactly what was going to happen on October 26th. Come on, man. It does not end. This little flag that ripped to the upside, like how many times do you want to miss? This is all in the trading group. This all happened. I gave FWOG when it first came out. Then one of my traders gave it again for another 109. If you miss them, we give you ways to get back in. We find it. We give you shorts. This short bang to the downside. Accurate call. Accurate call. Right to the target. Insanity. 80% gains for grass when it ripped out. Again, this is just in the last 2 weeks. I don't know what else I can do. Anyway, I'm going to ruin the show if I keep going. If you want to sign up and you want more and you want to find gains like that, go to cryptolifer.com and jump on in today. It'll blow your mind. I'm telling you right now. The link is right here. I never take a day off. 1,400 days in a row and more consistently, baby. Join us today. Subscribe to a monthly, a quarterly, or an annual subscription. Hit the link right here. You will find me there every single day. Today, we do our private weekly screen share where I go over my entire portfolio. What I've bought and what I've sold, where I'm at, what's happening, and what we're looking at, what I'm going over. If you're new, we give you kind of the areas that we invest in. We talk about them. We break it down. So much goes on. I even do mindset, subconscious mind healing. Like it is a full-blown, a success mentorship. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's once a week, every Thursday. I can't wait for that tonight. So if you want that, that's worth $99 a month. Many people say that's worth $99 a month to them. They really do. They tell me that all the time. If you're still not sold, because I'm the one selling myself, right? If you're still not sold, okay, the Bitcoin tie must have sold you, okay? And if that didn't sell you, all right? If that didn't sell you, the vest sold you. And if the vest didn't sell you, the glasses sold you. If the glasses didn't sell you, okay, the testimonials had to sell you. Just listen, I was following Sam and his calls for quite a while on YouTube. He was always precise and made correct trades 7 out of 10 times, which is amazing considering 2x profits every time. But due to my reckless, I lost everything. Joined the group with just 2 days in altcoins and Bitcoin calls and covered everything back. And hopefully we'll be back in profits this alt season, man. Sam, you've changed my life. God bless you and all the hard work you do. You deserve millions and billions than anyone else in the world. Keep up the good work and thank you for changing my life. And there's so many of these. They go on and on. There's literally hundreds. You could sit here and read the books. Like I'm going to publish it one day. It's absolutely insane. May God bless everyone that leaves one of those. Anyway, moving forward. Bitcoin. Looks like it's bouncing back off of key bullish divergence here. All right. We're getting a little bit of a swing up on price action. A swing down here on RSI and a swing down here. That's called bullish div, but to me, it's not that strong. And now look what you're doing. You found resistance. Now you need to get back above 88,300 to remain bullish. Got yourself another kind of bear flag forming here for Bitcoin. Okay. And I just got to show you, my friend's mom made this trade. She made 110,000% off of PEPE. That's real. That's real. That is real. All right. If you want to trade where we trade, jump on in to Weeks or MEXC. The link to Weeks is right here. Sign up today to Weeks. We make it very, very simple. Weeks is no KYC, no red tape. We know the people that run Weeks. I'm good friends with the VP. All right. I'm going to go into Dubai and hanging out. He's the best. He's a nice guy. All right. He's been on the show a few times. If you have any issues, you hit me up. We hit them up. They have great customer service. They won't leave you hanging. I have my reputation behind you. When you're not on your own signing up to some random exchange. I mean, I think that's huge. And I haven't gone anywhere in thousands of days. So I'm one of the most consistent people you know. It's very likely I'm going to be here tomorrow. All right. Bitcoin still inside the flag, likely to break further to the downside. You're looking for your next take profit area to be 86,260 for Bitcoin. You know, what would kind of stop this idea? We made some type of shoulder, head, right shoulder. We got tight and we did break break back above 88,003 and we did a retest of that. I would not long anything today until the 1 minute breaks the 200 MA. If that happens, I will then entertain longs. And could be a great reversal. And you could be getting just beautiful low gap prices on altcoins right now. Okay. I try, but when I put the code in, the page is gone after I get the code from the email. She made 100 as left J's. Really, or did she adjust the level to show a higher percent? I hear they can do that. No, she wouldn't do that. They don't do that in my trading group. And even then, you wouldn't be able to get to 110. I don't think. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah, okay, so here, beer pump, another, wow. Mentor, look at the total 3, seems like a bounce in the trend line. Fighting POC on the 1 minute. Hey, there's a chance we get some love here. These are good buying opportunities for Bitcoin. You buy Bitcoin in the fear every single time, all right? Every single time you buy Bitcoin in the fear, okay? I can't stand short in Bitcoin. I hope it bumps right back inside the pattern, gets above the 215, and I go back into my long. That's what would be awesome. You'd think that would happen. When you logically think about it, you see all these people that wish they got into Bitcoin. You see nation states. People say there's an entire country that hasn't disclosed they're buying Bitcoin on the low. I mean, that's a big deal. And so how does Bitcoin go down? If everyone wishes they got in at 80, 81, 82, aren't people going to start buying right now? Aren't people going to be like, you know what? I waited at 90. I waited at 92. If I wait till 86, I may never get it. And then everyone thinks everyone's going to front run it on them. And then so there's back engineered FOMO in their minds that they're not going to be able to get it at the price they want because every time they do, it doesn't go there. So now they're all thinking that. Now I'm sticking to the TA above. See, I'm not getting in my head. I'm saying below the 200 down. Right? And that may serve me well. But logically, if I sat there and didn't know technical analysis, I'd be like, oh, it's only going up. But this tells me there's likely a move further to the downside. Why didn't Doge move more after the Elon stuff? Because Doge had already pumped way too hard. It didn't have the liquidity. You see what I'm saying? It didn't have the liquidity. Yeah. So I see is now you're in the money nicely in the trade. We're up 8%. You know, now you're in the money. If you took the trade with me, you're in the money. You know, I begin to kind of, once I'm in the money a little bit, I bring the stop loss a little bit down. Shave risk as much as you can. You know what I mean? It's all about putting yourself out of risk. The second we're out of risk, we're going to move that stop loss to break even immediately. Immediately. Everyone, get the likes up to the watches, please. We got 2,099 people. I want to hit 4,000. I want to see if we get to 4,000. Let's rip this puppy up. And it's not an all-time high day. That means people that watched me in the last 2 days came back because they really like what they saw. And they're seeing more. And they're learning. And they're feeling energized. And they're liking it. And they're liking the energy. And they're liking the positivity. And you got to be around people that keep you positive. You got to be around people that push you to your limits. You got to be around people that are pushing themselves to their limit. I'm speaking at 1,000,000 miles an hour because I only have so much time to fill in this 2-hour time frame. And I want to teach you. I want to build you up. I want to motivate you. I want to get you going. I want to do all these things at once, and I can't do them all at once if I don't talk fast. Okay? So, and the reason why I talk fast is because I know that I want to give you as much as I can in the small amount of time that you have, because you have a precious moment in your life right now. So I'm not trying to be rude. I am trying to pack in as much as I can in a small amount of time every single day. So you feel empowered, you feel amazing. And if we can even make a live trade together, so be it. That would be awesome, right? Those are my accomplishments for the day every time I'm here on this live. To make a live trade with you, that's a pot that we all win together. Okay, that's what I like to do personally. To have fun, to interact with the charts and the super chats, and to build you up, make you feel amazing, and let you know that if I can stay positive and go after my dreams, then so can you. You change the world by changing yourself. If you push yourself every day and you live a life of positivity and enlightenment, you know how many people are going to think that they can too? And so you're going to open up the door for them to live a life of positive enlightenment. That's the key. Okay? And I'm able to talk to you right now and not focus on my trades because I know when I'm below the 200 on the 15-minute that I likely win. And so because I've backtested a strategy that I believe in, I can focus on philosophizing with you even though I may still be in a trade. Because it's all about the fact that I trust in my technical analysis. That in and of itself is showing you the flow of what I'm doing here every day. All right? The show in and of itself is a representation of where I want to bring you, how I want to take you there, and where we can go. I just bought a coin in the trading group this morning. It was called NEURAI. I like this coin. I might even put another $5,000 if it goes a little lower. There's a few reasons why I like this coin. All right. Number one, I believe it has a use case that's actually going to come into play. They have an idea and a plan. Okay. And so it could take, the gaming market is expected to reach $282 billion in 2024. Our service is aimed to facilitate to be part of this expansion. I think it'd go higher than that, man. The need for easy to create and easy to integrate 3D in-game assets on a rapid rise. NEURAI makes both parts a reality. NEURAI is needed to satiate hungry game developers so they can make the same wonderful games we are all used to playing, but at a faster pace and more cost efficient. I mean, it's infrastructure. This thing is huge. I'm loving what this is doing. And what I really liked was the total supply is 10 million. And it's really not going to change. And, you know, and they didn't give a bunch of VCs money. It was a fair unlock. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have a bunch of token unlocks to dump on you. So, to me, I like this, man. And once it hits you can only get it on Uniswap right now. And again, you do you, all right? You do whatever makes you happy. But I'm looking at this, and I've been watching it for a while now. Even Token Metrics has picked it up. I'm not the only guy looking at this too. There's a lot of really deep divers that agree with me that this thing could make some numbers. You're looking 700 million, looking at a 10x. You know, 10x looks very likely with this coin. What do you guys think? Anyone else like NEURAI? Have you done a deep dive? Anything I don't know about it that you know? Is there something that we're not sure about? All right. Okay, so here we are. Can we continue the move further to the downside here? All right. On MEXC. Okay. And NEURAI paid me nothing to talk about it. I don't do coin chills. I found this coin on my own and I gave it to the trading group. I swear on my entire life that I will not take money for a coin chill. Never. I don't do it. I make enough money on my trading group and my own services. I don't push anyone else's. I don't trust their services. I don't know what they do. I worked so hard and went 1,400 days every single day to build up who I am. I would not risk my name on a coin or a project that I didn't create, or, if I created it, fine. But if I'm not behind it, I'm not talking about it. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like if I, I'm talking about this one, I'm not behind it. But you know what I mean? Like if someone comes to me, hey, I hope this thing does numbers, but no one paid me a dime. I didn't get free neural AI. I put my own money into it. Strike me dead if I'm lying to you. Strike me dead right now if I'm lying. All right. All of a sudden I just, oh my God, no. I promise you on my life, and I wouldn't lie to you. When it comes to my business and what I do here, I would not lie to you, man. This is real to me. You guys are as real to me as I am. You're my family, man. I don't disrespect what God gave me. God gave me a beautiful trading group, right? Lifer token coming soon. Going for BPR maybe. What's the reason for your little conviction? Still Uniswap, I believe, but not for too long. You don't see what I see every day as Warren G. You don't hear what I hear, but it's so hard to live through these years. You're funny, man. We know that. Thanks, Lifer. Hey, man, again, I don't even need to say it. I just live it, right? And we go from there. Bitcoin back above 88,000, showing signs of life. Another double bottom here for Bitcoin. It double bottom here, though, and it was able to fight it off. You think the whole world would just keep buying Bitcoin right now. And honestly, shorting Bitcoin is the worst thing to do after an all-time high, right? Stinks. I'm at break even right now. I may just cut off the trade. I mean, that's a nice double bottom. Moving averages are tight, like we could bump back up to the 200 MA. It's a bit of an Adam and Eve, you see it? It's an Adam and Eve double bottom, in my humble opinion. I cut the trade off down 19. We'll see what happens. I wasn't really feeling it today anyway, to be really honest with you. And I really did. I'm not lying to you. I don't lie. Like, I'm not going to. I don't know what it is. I'm not feeling the trade at the moment. I don't like shorting BTC, man. I just rather not. But there's opportunity, Sam. Take the money, right? I guess. We are below the 15. That should just continue to collapse to the downside. It should, but also people should be buying Bitcoin. You know what I'm going to do? Instead of, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. We're going to do something fun here on the channel. We do all day, boy. Now, you got to remember the long-term ideas here. All right? And altcoins aren't dipping right now. I just want to make that pretty clear. Like, Render's still sitting above many of the buys I made yesterday. I got in below 6 when it dipped a little bit. I got to get some low buys too when Bitcoin made some funny moves. Well, look, we're going to buy about what? We'll buy 5,900 worth of BTC. Right? Market buy 59.30. See that? Whatever's above 60. And I'm going to buy Bitcoin right there. I'm going to buy $7,000 of it. I mean, this is a dip. I buy the dips, man. All right? But what if it goes to 85? What if it goes to 70, Sam? Okay. I'll buy more. You know, I'm looking at it. Anything below 100 grand is a steal, man. All right? Yeah. So I'm like, I really want to represent what I represent. And I'm a fan of buying Bitcoin on the low. And today was a nice little dip buy. So I took it. You know what I mean? And you see me, I put my money where my mouth is. No BS here. You're not going to see many people buying their $7,000 worth of Bitcoin in front of you and just like it's a cupcake, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm showing you how much I care, how much I believe, and how much faith I have in bitty Bitcoin. And I want as much Bitcoin as I can have. And, you know, soon it's going to be really, 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 once you get to 150, it's going to be hard, you know. Can you have a look at NEURAI? I just copied and bought some Bitcoin as well. Hey, you do what you did the right thing for you. In my humble opinion, that's my opinion though. You know? And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. Okay? Okay. Can we get the bounce back in action here? 15-minute looks extremely overbought. We're getting the bounce. I like that price. The whole world wants Bitcoin. Let's rip back to the upside here. Get above the 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame. Show the world who's boss, Bitcoin. Whenever the moving edges get tight like this, we get this gap. The bigger time frames don't look good, though. I have to be honest. So I'm kind of stuck in that, like, which way are we going to? You know, what happens if you're in the trading group, I'll just know what to do at the right time. It's weird. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I know how to trade it. You know, and that's what I tell everyone. You don't have to know everything about what's going to happen in price action. You just have to know how to trade it. Like, I could have been in the short now and still been down like $50, $70, but I knew to get out of the short for $20, right? Because it didn't look right. Like, we had an Adam and Eve double bottom. This is what's called an Adam and Eve double bottom. All right? It's a known reversal pattern. And it 90% of the time is going to give you the length of that. It's going to, you know, so it tells you Bitcoin's going to go at least to 88,991. Okay? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into the super chats. We're going to go into this. Oh, yeah, I got to go. Oh, man. I don't know where I got signed out. I don't know where I got signed out on Twitter for I don't know why, right? And then I could get back in, but it keeps refreshing on Brave. I don't know, doing something very strange. So I got to go to Twitter on Chrome here. That's so funny. Good morning. Early breakfast compliments of digital stock photos. Looks a little like something I don't want to think about, man. Oh my gosh. Funding back to neutral for Bitcoin and ETH. Probably a good sign for another push higher. That's a good, that's good. And that was 4 minutes from Jacob. He one of my mentors, man. This guy's awesome. Check him out. Awesome stuff. He taught me a lot of how to trade, man. He really did. He knows his stuff. He's an amazing guy. Jacob, brother, I love you. I hope you're out there. If you're listening, God bless you and your family, man. And thank you for everything you've done for this country. He definitely served in the armed forces too as well. Okay, so let's go to this. I put out a tweet and I said, make fun of me here. And so we want to see this tweet here. And we're going to get, you know, we're going to hook up a soul. One soul. I got to find it, right? I tweet a lot. I think it was earlier than this, though. Yeah, it was after that. Okay, here it is. We have some funny stuff here. All right. That's ridiculous. Girl, oh my gosh, right? The banana hammock. This one's pretty good. But I know Jimmy Jim, and oh man. This is pretty funny. I put two of my faces together with yeah. That's pretty cool. I like that, but that's weird. I like it though. Put the juice in the, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. And the gains together. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. Thursday for non-farm payroll. That's so funny, man. And he took that from yesterday. That's so funny. This one's funny too. Look. Look at this. Sammy drinking a cup and handle with an alligator on his shirt. Yo, it's so funny, man. Like would be enough. Thanks for all the knowledge you shared. This is awesome. Bear tears are delicious. This is crazy. I don't know how to pick one. That one's hilarious. That one's ridiculous. Like, this one's crazy. Like, it says grab Bitcoin, but this one's insane. Like, you guys went hard, bro. Like, these are insane. Like, anyway, we'll pick the winner on Twitter. All right, not here on the live because it's killing the live stream, and I don't want to do that. I'm getting back at you guys want the charts clearly. I don't want to. I can see people turn off when I get away from the charts at all. So let's get back into the charts. Bitcoin pumping nicely back to the upside here. Might have picked up a nice buy there as we get a nice pump. 1 hour ago, Bitcoin iShares Trust sees an explosive 3 billion inflows. Okay. The Bitcoin Spot Exchange Traded Fund offered by the world's largest major fund has seen over 3 billion of inflows over the past 5 days. According to data from Farsight Investors on November 7th, the fund saw a 1.11 billion inflows. While on the following day, its inflows topped $200 million mark. So today's a great day to buy the dip, in my humble opinion. I think I did a good job. So far, we're getting a bullish engulfing candle here on the 15-minute. The one is coming back and making a bit of a flag here to the upside. We busted out of the Adam and Eve double bottom. And so now you got yourself a flag here, and it looks like we could continue further back to the upside and head further to the 200 MA moving average. We want to see this move up to the 200 MA moving average. I want to teach you these ideas. So this is what I do now. I wait for the 21 to come up here. See, what's going to happen is the 21 is going to creep. It's going to cross price action. At that point, that's going to be the best time to load up. Usually. Not every, I can't be, but usually. Okay. Wow. Doge price could see 170. Yeah, the Doge BTC pair. We're going to look at some BTC pairs too, which is going to tell you the health of these altcoins against Bitcoin. Really give you a better idea of altcoin season. And we're also going to be looking at Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance as well. So I can't wait for that. We're going to break that down. All right. And so I'm here. I know what you guys want. I saw that we went from 3,000 to 28. I don't want to lose 200 people on retention. So I'm going to keep it moving. You guys want technical analysis. You want to get taught. You don't care about Twitter. You don't care about memes. You don't care about nothing. You don't care about me and all. You want the gains. You want the money. You want the knowledge. That's what you came here for. I'm going to give it to you. All right. This wants to come back to the 21-day moving average here. Okay. And we're going to see if the 1 minute could collapse. If the 1 minute decides to lose this, like we're going further down, it's horrible. So now you watch. The way we get out of this is if the 1 minute can creep back above this point of control. So you need the 1 minute to get back above 89,000. And then you need to see us break the 200 MA. If we break the 200 MA, it's likely we rip back up somewhere to 91.8. Okay, that's just likely going to happen based off what I see on the parameters of price action there. But there's no guarantees. And now this is a bit of what's called a Sammy cup and handy. We have the cup, we have the handle. And this is what they call me Sammy cup and handy. We find a cup and handle in the smaller time frames that reverses price action. This could be the wick on the daily candle. We could be watching the daily reversal right now. We do this on my channel all the time. Right now, you're actually watching how the daily market actually reverses. You should be seeing what's called a divergence with a liquidation event. How do we know this? Because I have this indicator that shows me the liquidation events, and I know how to find divergence. By coupling the bullish divergence and the liquidation event, I figured out one day that the liquidation event was the divergence, and the divergence was the liquidation event. They went hand in hand. Basically, divergence was liquidations. And I could explain that to you too, more in depth, but right now, I'm just going to keep it moving. Okay? But Bookmap suggests that we go lower, and we're not out of this yet. And that we're headed down to 86,000 for cleanup. 86.4, really. But the more we get, they were at 85, and now they're kind of not so sure. And there's still a big red there at 85, but it seems like more liquidity got globbed into 86.4 here. Bitcoin struggling at 86.3. Remember, unless we get back above the 15-minute 200 MA, I'm still a bear despite this awesome move. And unless we get back above the 1 minute 200 MA, I still got to feel that we're going to head further down to 86,250. So unless the 1 minute can show me something here in the next, 30 to 40 minutes to an hour and get back above this 200 MA, I'd say in 2 hours or less, I know that likely the bulls don't have the guns to get us out of here, and we're going to get taken over by the bears. Okay? That's just what's, I have to be honest. So you may have learned what an Adam and Eve double bottom is. It's basically a vertical triangle with a half a cup there. That's an Adam and Eve double bottom. All right. You don't want to lose what's called the 21-day moving average. This is this white line. If you lose the white line right now, no good. You're kind of at a previous resistance as support, resistance, support. You got to have, for the day to really reverse here, you really want to bounce. Now, they could dip it, anything can happen, but most of the time, this has to be the reversal point right here. And then we're going to want to gap back through this VRVP. See this beautiful gap here? As I said, when you move down pretty fast, usually you move back up pretty fast. When they liquidate down quickly, they can usually pump up back quickly. Many, many times over. And remember, people are going to front run price action. If they think it's going to drop back down to 86, they're going to buy it earlier than that. Because everyone thinks everyone else is buying it before they are. Everyone's freaking out right now. They're like, oh. And these are some of the last times you could probably buy some BTC before it's too late. And things really, really begin to change. I could be wrong. Who am I? But I've been buying the fear, and it's been working out for me. And maybe the fear ingredient isn't too high. But today is the biggest dip we've had since the all-time high yesterday. And to me, you got to buy the dips. For me. I'm not telling you what to do, but for me, you got to buy the dips. If you watched me yesterday, I loaded up on render between 650 and like 715 area. 730, a couple 740 buys, but I was only able to buy a little bit at a time. Render's still doing great. I like what it's doing there. It's looking pretty nice. So And you can see it's still forming a nice consolidation. Could it dump? It very well may. Could it get back to 6? It could. And I've got some capital to get into render if it gets up to 6. I'm expecting a bounce here for Bitcoin on the 1 minute here. Back to the upside out of this flag to the 200 moving average. I used to trade this flag all the time. I used to. And it would flip-flop on me. Sometimes it would break, sometimes not. You know? I started waiting for us to break the 200 before I got into the trade. That's kind of my new thing. It takes me a lot to stop, though, because I know this flag is likely going to break out. You know, here's a live trade if you'd like to see, you know, and I used to do this literally for years, and it did play out many times. I just keep my stop very tight. Make sure it's a 3-to-1, 1% of my portfolio. A little late there. And I would ride this up to 89,459, you know. And there's the trade. There's a bit of an Adam and Eve inside of the cup and handle. With a gap in the VRVP and a swift move down, it could be a swift move fast. A smooth move down. And remember, Bitcoin pumps back up, then render crosses 7, and then you don't get render back in the 6s ever again. People are in fear that they're going to drop, and then they're in fear that they're not going to get the good price. How do you get over that fear? You DCA into projects that matter, that you believe in. It's really simple. When you simplify things and make them very simple, I have $5,000. I would like to put in 1,500 4 times, 3 times. You know what I mean? And then the last time I'll put in 1,000. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very simple, I have $6,000. I'm going to put in 1,500 4 times. I'm going to buy here, here, and there. After it goes above 8. So what I would do is I would look at market cap and price. Like I look at NEURAI. I think it's hot. Okay? I don't want to buy above $8. I don't want to pay more than $8. And I don't want to pay more. I don't want to buy it when it goes above $100 million market cap. So I put together what I have. I think about how much I want to buy. And I start accumulating until once those points hit, I'm done. And when we get closer to those points, I should be full. I should have my bags full. I give myself rules. This is a $10 million supply and it has a use case. I mean, I don't know. If it does 20% of what it says, I think you can do numbers. But only time will tell. Struggling right there for Bitcoin. This is why these flags would always play with me. I just learned to wait my turn. Could make a nice bull pennant here. A lot of people just bought like I did. And they're like, dang, that was the smart move to buy right now. People that have the guts to buy are going to be very happy, in my humble opinion, 6-7 months from now. No matter where you buy right now, in my humble opinion. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, and you got to figure out that stuff for yourself. Nobody knows really your situation and where you're at, what you're doing. You know, that you have to assess yourself and figure out. So a possible 1 minute scalp out this bull, what looks to me like a bull flag at this point. With tight moving averages that usually get a pump up to when the moving average get this tight, we pump up to the 200. It's a model that I've back tested many times. Doesn't mean it's going to happen for sure, but it's possible. We have some bullish divergence as well on the 1 minute time frame with liquidations. So we've covered the checklist of the daily bottom that we usually see many, many times in this channel. Remember, the daily candle opens. All right. Starts its journey as the wick comes back up and fills the day. And then there's a candle formed around it. Let's use a different marker there, right? So the daily candle comes down, liquidates, makes this divergence on the 1 minute, finds a cup and handle on the smaller time frames, then comes back up, and then finds its high and usually wicks back down. And so 9 times out of 10, inside of this wick, if you zoomed in on a microscope, you would see this exact situation that I'm pointing out. You would see bullish div. This is the algorithm. We've cracked the code. Like, we've shown you this thousands of times on the live stream. I have shown so many short squeezes, it's insane. The odds of this short squeezing are very high right now. The shorts are about to get squeezed all the way back up to about, let's say, the target there at least, and then we'll go from there. But it looks like we're going back up to possibly 90K, 89. I could be wrong. That's the sad thing, is that I'm not 100%. There's no guarantees that that's going to happen for sure. It's starting to build the picture that we've seen many times. It tells me that it can happen. Is it going to happen? We don't know for sure. All right? We don't know for sure. We believe, you know, we put together the idea. But many, many times now when these, I'm telling you, 90% of the time when these moving averages are tight, we pump up to the 200 MA. very likely this is going to gap up and make the move. Very, very likely. All right. Let's jump into the super chats and see what people are saying. I didn't mean to ignore them. Bitcoin just got pretty interesting. Powell speaking today at 3 o'clock. I wouldn't put much weight on it. Yeah, not every speaking is the same as the Fed meeting. You know what I'm saying? But let's look at Forrest Crow, PNUT, AGLD, Jorge on Sol, Baby Doge, HBAR, SWE, and AVAX. Sam, NEURAI has a warning marker on CoinGecko regarding the contract. Hey, there you go. Lifer, yeah, no one knows. Hey, Lifer, what's cracking? Hope you're enjoying this amazing time. Great. Sam the man. God bless you, Ronaldo fan. I love you, man. PMG, George Lifer Patterson, stock down. RSI still up on the 4 hour. 96, then 80K, then 110. You're funny, man. I'm feeling like we won't get rejected. Who knows? What we feel makes no difference, my man. I love you, Jamal. Someone says Margex is, I don't want to get involved, man. Has nothing to do with me, brother. Yeah. 99, then 78, then 120. You're funny, yeah. Phantom is the play. So now if Bitcoin gets the reverse, these altcoins are going to move. Whoever decided to DCA in the last few weeks probably will be presented nicely. I like NeuroETH here. Talked about it in the group. It's got that Adam and Eve double bottom. To me, I'm calling a bottom on this thing at 8 7/10%. You do whatever makes you happy, but I'm calling a bottom on this puppy right here. Nero, right? And there's so many of these. You got to make sure you have the right one. But it's this one here. Oh, no, that's 2 cents. Nero, yeah. So there's two. Look at this. There's two, though. This one's 8 cents. And then there's this one for wrapped ETH. This is the big one. Interesting. This is why I don't like when they dupe a meme like on the same chain. So this is the one I'm looking at. You see it's just getting tight. Looks like it's going to rip up. But maybe it's like, look at this. It's crazy. Then you got the one with a huge market cap, almost $1 billion. This is the big boy, right? This is the one that's been ripping. The first Nero on ETH. So whack, man. I desire Bitcoin. Why would you put another Nero out there? That's so horrible, right? You know, I was looking, the moon looked big last night. Looks like we may be getting a full moon soon. The next full moon, I believe, comes Friday, November 15th. It'll officially reach its full phase at 4:29 Eastern Daylight Savings Time, 21:29 GMT. It will still be very full at night before and after its peak to the casual stranger. And so tomorrow night will be the next full moon, I believe. Is it tonight? Yeah, November 15th is the Beaver Moon. The Beaver Moon, man. The Beaver Moon. Interesting. Bitcoin getting the pump to the upside. If you did take that wild and crazy trade, you are in the gains here on the reversal. Okay? Waiting to see if we can get back up to the 200 MA. This is what I used to do on the channel before we started using the 200 MA. Remember, for like 2 years straight, I used to do just this. I used to trade the flag on the 1 minute over and over again. Sometimes it got rejected, sometimes it didn't. I found I had a higher probability trading the 200 MA. It's hard for me not getting in right now because that was my known play. But I like that I just bought Bitcoin on the low, and I like that I'm up on that purchase so far, so good. And boom. I mean, at this point, I'd be moving the stop loss closer to break even. I'd probably move the stop loss to break even at this point. You're in the trade now, scot-free. You can't lose any money in the trade. All right? Stop loss to break even. If I was scalping hard money, I'd be taking that game right there. And I can wait for it to crack the 200 and get into another long. We're going to have some trouble when we hit 89,000, 88, 89K, right? But beautiful move back up here for Bitcoin. I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Sorry, I had to do it, right? Shout out to anyone that figured this out. And this is how we show you what's going on the trades every day here. Okay? You're learning how price action actually reverses in real time. This isn't BS. This is a skill that you can hone in on, and I'm teaching you every day. Now, if you first saw this, you have no idea. This is a lot. If you show up every single day, you're going to start seeing this a lot, and you're going to be like, oh, this is what we're doing. You're going to get in tune with this. Who's in gains right now? I bet you some people took the trade on this live stream, even if I did not. Who's in massive gains right now? Who's doing great? Who's feeling good? Right? Greetings from Sri Lanka. Double top. 333. Put a 333 if you're in gains. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. 333. Look at all these beautiful people here on the 333s. Unbelievable. Yeah. And look, it hit the first target and got rejected. People took profits right there. And wow, there's my line. We hit it in bound. Yes. Definitely a good place to take. I just said at 89, it's probably going to get rejected. Look what exactly happened. I mean, not a minute after I said it. Not on Bitcoin, but gains, baby, gains. Amen. Caspa on Kraken. That's a big deal. On November 19th. I like that. Yeah. Caspa on Kraken's a big deal. This thing's going to rip. We probably gained the 30-second 200 MA. We did, see? That's a place where you can actually get into a trade there and let it run. And you'd be surprised you can let it sit and run. That's going to be where about 88,550. So it says I could almost trade 88.5 as support. You know, we can't see it, but there's a 30-second 200 MA there hiding like right there somewhere. Right above this line, like below this line. I've never traded the 30-second 200 MA, but I have to assume it trades just like the 1 minute. So now look, you need price action to interact with the 21-day moving average. I could front run now the cross. Now the whole world's buying Bitcoin, right? So when you're in this trade, you should have a lot of people behind you buying BTC when you think about it. Like, that's how you think about it. Like, they're all behind you buying the trade that you're in. This would be front running the cross above the 200, which is usually not my favorite move. I've been hurt doing it many times. However, I'm now thinking that the 30-minute, the 30-second 200 MA is in my favor, which is an interesting concept to think about. Take me to 90,430. And I keep the stop at about 88.2, 88.267. $165 or 460. That ain't bad. I like it. I snatched the trade. We'll see what happens. I usually never front run this 200 MA. It's very rare of me. If I lose the trade, I'll know why. I went against my model, but I'm playing the 30-second 200 MA, which I've never played. It's not there. You can't see it, but it's in the back of my mind. Okay? What we want is price to pull up, have this flag out, and continue further to the upside here for Bitcoin. Let's jump on into your super chats. Forrest Crow. And let's talk about all the fan funding here and say thank you to everybody that gave here on the channel. Okay. Wow, we have a lot of people. A tiny, see. Yeah, okay. No worries. Blessings on everybody here. Thank you for giving. We have Yonahita. Let's go. Happy Thursday, my lifers. God bless you. In your opinion, when alt season? God bless. We've been in alt, like it was time to load up. You see, you don't buy in alt season, in my humble opinion. You buy way before alt season. And then you wait to sell when things get crazy. You know what I mean? So everyone's like, when alt season? I'm like, it's like you prepare for alt season. Alt season is when Bitcoin dominance and Tether dominance both collapse together. And I'm going to show you that by juxtaposing the two charts, right? Bitcoin coming back to that 21 a little viciously. And again, not risking a lot on the trade, you see? Until we start to see more confluence. Can you check Forest out? This thing is going to be big. We went over it. It looked pretty big. Can you check out Baby Doge? Baby Doge. I think Baby Pepe would have done numbers, right? Is Baby Doge on Sol? Fine, they have Baby Department of Efficiency. Look, it's got that 500 rating, though. Is that what? That means it's hot? Funny, Baby DOGE, right? I mean, it just started with the $200,000 market cap, right? You never know. What a crazy world we live in now. No, I get that. When I see this just tiny liquidity there, Baby Doge on Sol. I thought Baby Doge was on, like, might even be on other exchanges at this point. What a sworn I heard about that coin before. Wow, now we're testing the 300 MA on the 32nd. We lose that, we dump. We hold it, we pump. It's a big deal right there. Baby Doge on CoinX. So did it follow Doge? I mean, it had a nice, pretty good pump. Seems like a shoulder head and a right shoulder there. What you made, you know. So I would look at it like this. It's just going to get tighter inside a symmetrical triangle. 4-hour time frame looks like it's consolidating pretty nicely. And if Doge continues, I don't see how this does not. I do see kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder, but that's a low, a high, and a higher low. You also made a bit of a double bottom support. If Doge rips, this will continue to rip. Its target is 5.6. And that's 117%. Its target is 5.646 with about a bunch of zeros that I don't even feel like counting. Look for it to consolidate. You know, if it consolidates, the safe bet is the breakout and the retest of 2820. If it retests 2820, boom. I mean, that's going to be beautiful. See almost a bit of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder in there too, hiding out inside a price action. I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of this coin. I'm not going to buy it. I know nothing about it, but the TA tells me it's going up. 117% gains in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. Said it'll be there by the first or second week of December. I don't know, who knows? We looked at fours. If you're wrecking your account, yep, amen. Okay, in your opinion, when alt season, we said something there. Let's pump Crow and Jasmine. Let's not. God bless you, though. I love you. See, when someone does that, I don't know if that's a super chat. Let's pump Crow and Jasmine. I don't know if we can consider that a super chat. All right. PNUT, short time frames. Also, when announced Sol winner. Yeah. Today. As you can see, we'll do it off stream, though, because it didn't seem to do well for the stream. It banged on the algorithm just a little bit. People didn't get what they came here for. So, you know what I mean? We have new people here now that don't know me. So I got to be a little more about my game and a little less about me. Eventually, I can tell, oh, look at the stuff we did. Look at, we can have fun. But right now, we can't, sad to say. It's just, it's how the algorithm works. If you want to cater to the business, you got to be business-like. Wow, so it came down. I don't know if it stopped it out, though. No, that's no stop loss. Eventually would hit 38% gains out of that flag. It got very close, but it did not hit the stop. That's insanity. We got the bounce on 145. You think Fred would fall? This coin looks like it's just not going to stop. Every time someone hears about it, they go, oh, PNUT? Yeah, it's going to go. And they just throw more money at it. As weird as it sounds, and if Bitcoin recovers today and gets the move, which so far so good. I mean, Bitcoin's looking great. It's now flagging out right there. This is that's a good sign. And if you got late in the trade, now you have another entry possibly there. And I like how the stochastics are looking. It looks like we made our daily bottom there for Bitcoin, but I could be wrong. You never know. But we do this all the time, and this is the time period we do them. Somehow we make the daily bottom. We do 10 and 12 every single day. I don't know how we do it, but we do. It's crazy, man. The human mind, it's never enough. We had 30,000, 3,300 people here now. I'm like, 28, it's not enough. We need 3,000, you know what I mean? It's like, once you hit a level, just like trading, we hit 70 cents. You go back to 50 cents. No, we need 80 cents, Let's pump Crow and Jasmine. Let's not and say we did. No, I'm just... Look at that beautiful inverted head and shoulder on the 30-second chart. I mean, that's perfect. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's gone, baby. They're hiding out inside the 30-second on you right now. And I'm giving you the sauce. I know what time frames to look for at the right time. It's not always the 6 hour. It's not always sometimes it's the 2 hour. Sometimes it's the 8 hour. I can't explain why. It's almost like they hide out, but the direction comes out. If you have enough scan of enough time frames, you eventually get the sauce. Like that has a 68% chance of a break to the upside. That means we're likely going to the target. Now we're going to hit that 200 MA. I told you when the moving averages are tight, 90% chance we go to the 200 MA. This is a model of mine. We do this on the daily for altcoins. Let me show you. See how this looks like on the 1 minute? I'm going to blow your mind now. I'm going to do something that you won't even believe. So it also happens when you pump hard. You'll pump, you know what I mean? What if Squirrel takes a dump down there, shoulder, head, right shoulder with a lower low? It is asymmetrical. It could go either way. But just the fact that more people like this and want in. And look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour looks like it's going to continue to pump. I say Squirrel goes to 369. Just be careful of stop hunts, you know, and crazy behaviors, but a retest there would be the safest bet, but you'd miss a little movement. But Squirrel 369, very possible. Very, very possible. That's insanity. Okay, let's go back to Squirrel here. Yeah, look how tight that's getting with tight moving averages. So what I wanted to show you was I'm going to find an altcoin that pumped hard recently. ApeCoin is a good one. All right. Watch, bear with me right now. Remember what I just showed you on the 1 minute time frame, okay? Remember that. And remember, we took this fractal and put it on like a bunch of charts and it played out exactly. The bull run started. The accumulation was here. You should already be up 5, 6, 7x in many other positions, and you should be making gains. Like this, I'm not, you know, if you're new, no, but like if you've been with me for a long time, you should be up. Like I'm up cash with 10. Like there should be a bunch of different positions. You should be up 5, 6, 7x, maybe 10x. If you've been with me for the last 2 years, like we are still holding positions we have not sold yet. Long-term accumulation. You go back in time here, and I tell my students, whenever the moving averages get tight, you pump up to the 200 MA. This is look at this. It's exactly what Bitcoin's doing on the 1 minute time frame. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And then the moving averages were tight. We're going to pump up to the 200 MA. Move average were tight. We pump up to the 200. I showed you the inverted head and shoulder on that 30-second chart. It's golden, man. I told you that the probabilities of that shape are 68% chance, but patterns don't work, right? I told you this flag was likely going to break out. We talked about getting above the 200 on the 30-second, and I traded it. I've never traded the 30-second 200. Today was the first day of my entire life. I've traded the 30-second and the 1 second. I just never traded the 200 MA on the 30-second. Today I said to do it on the 1 minute. They got the whole world behind the trade. I said I might as well front run my old signal and take another prior signal. I mean, this is a crazy idea, but I did it. It's working. It's playing out right now in front of me. I'm always innovative and changing. You have to be too. Don't sit tight. Don't do the same stuff. So look, tight moving averages. This is going to rip up to the 200 MA. Look, see how it did that? Likely Bitcoin's going to do the same thing. I know I'm teaching you things that you don't understand, but your subconscious mind is going to let it in, and that hopefully is going to change your perspective and make you a better trader. Thoughts on H-bar? Own a good bit. Should I sell? I think H-bar is garbage. I don't like it. Actually, I like all coins. God bless you, man. But A-bar, I don't like H-bar. I don't own it, and I don't trade it, and it's just, I don't know, man. I don't think it's the best. I think it could possibly go up with the rest of the market over time, and I can't tell you what to do with your H-bar. You do whatever makes you happy, Campbell. I love you, man. I can't tell you what to do. All right. PNUT, short time frames also when announced. Yep, we got that one. Thank you. Sweet Biddy McGee. I like that. Sweet Bid McGee. Thank you. To the world is blessed to have men like you, man. That's very nice of you to say that. Enoch Shosh. Just heard from Dennis Porter, X-Space, that the state of Pennsylvania is very close to announcing a Bitcoin strategic reserve policy. A bunch of states are about to start buying Bitcoin. I believe that too. The states are going to take it upon themselves. It's, you know, a state is a state. A state, it's its own economy, right? Forest leverages AI to regenerate forests. I like it. It could do numbers. Powerful preach, bro. Thank you. Shout out to Bitoy Work Run. Sam, please take a look at AGLD. When Sammy says how great the trading group is, he's mostly the insane T guy who never stops updating you. 99 is a steal, people. Joe Alfio, man, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. And he gave a $99, a $9 super chat, $10 super chat to tell you how much the super chat, how great the trading group is. Sam, why is Sui unfazed by Bitcoin? Because it's hot. Can you look at H bar boss? We will. Check your DM. LOL. What is the DM? I don't know if I have time. That's funny, yeah. Hey, can you look at Jorge on Sol price? I think we looked at it, yeah. 0.02 right above 0.09. Can you do TA, please? Jorge on Sol price of right around 09. Do some TA, please. Say strictly a trending meme coin. Okay. All right, so just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. We did talk about Forest. It's a very new meme if you're interested. Sam, AVAX about to rip. Can you confirm? We'll look at AVAX and we'll look at Jorge on Sol on Dex Screener. Or Jorge, or I don't know how, yeah, Jorge, I guess. Georgie. Oh, so they took a monkey. I get it. And so everyone thinks I get it. So if PNUT went, but PNUT was part of an era, part of a movement. I will tell you, I see this hidden kind of Adam and Eve in there that could break out. And once you break this key resistance, I mean, you could support boom. It's low, though. $1.2 million market cap. It was already super high, and it's been sold off hard. Like, it was a penny, and it's all the way back down. You'd have to believe in this thing. I don't know, man. Memes could go to zero, right? You never know. It is the monkey they took to prison. I get it has some type of, squirrel peanut connection there. I see what you're doing. I don't know. You never know. You're doing some speculation there, and it may or may not play out. I can't tell you. That's a good be. Look at that. Inverted head and shoulder broke to the upside as suggested. 89,000 hit as suggested. 1 minute. Just has to now come back to the 21, make another flag here, and crack the 200 MA. Once we crack the 200 MA, my trade's going to go even further, likely to the upside, and we're going to be able to win, baby. I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. Things are starting to roll in our flavor. Yeah, baby, yeah. I like it. Can we get back above this 200 MA on the 1 minute? We will rip. We are in a live trade we made here. Stop loss can now be brought to basically break even at this point. You can't lose the trade. You can cover. And I do that a lot as soon as humanly possible. Okay. Boom, we're up 10%, $100 at the trade. Let's see if we can get this thing continuing to the upside here. I aim to make 300 to 500 a day. Some days I make $3,000. Some days I make $2,000. Some days I lose 100. I usually don't lose more than $400 to $500 when I do lose on the day. Usually it's even less. Only a losing day is just a lot. Like I don't win that much, or I give back, or I go sideways. But most of the time I make a winning trade. I'm just consistent. If you trade as much as me and you have in your strategy is 60%, you know what I mean? Then I tend to get a lot of streaks too going where I get 5 trades straight, 7 trades straight, 10 trades straight. So we really get ahead of the market. And then we take advantage when the market's hot. Like I went extra hard yesterday, but I'm not going extra hard right now. You got to know when to pull back, when to push hard. That's a skill within a skill of trading. Like knowing when liquidity is worth putting in and out, knowing when to take more risk. That comes with time. You want to take a look at AVAX. He believes it's about to rip here to the upside. Paul Wood. Rejection by the 200 is not good. We need to get it back above that for this all to go our way here today. ApeCoin came back hard. Probably a great place, though. If it bounces off the 4-hour 200 MA at 85, I would tell you... Oh, I think I'm back in time, actually. Sorry. Wow, even still. This looks like a really good place to get... I was saying that, and it did bounce, right? But that looks like a great place to get into Ape before it continues a bigger move. I could be wrong, but I mean, after that dump, high or low, rip up, a golden cross, and if Bitcoin kind of plays ball, Ape's in this like symmetrical triangle. To me, as strange as it is, that's likely going to break out. I see it gapping back up to 221 faster than you realize, and NFT's doing some damage. Maybe it comes for a double bottom because the Stokes are a little high. Let's take a look at AVAX. And I don't think anyone asked about APE. I just threw it in there. So what I like about AVAX is, yes, like it was in this beautiful breakout retest. Little far away from the 200, but not bad. The 21 crossing. What we want to see is we want to see a bounce on maybe the 4-hour time frame. Yeah. I'm with you. There's a chance that this is about to rip. Looks like we're going to retest. I like this trade. You know why I like the trade? Because I like when my stop loss is inside the pattern we already broke out from. One of the safer ideas to trade, because, and also I love when my stop loss negates the idea that I'm in. Like say the flag was up here and we just dipped and then came back out. But being here, we'd have to break back inside the pattern, stop me out, and then break back up inside, which could confirm a retest again, or we'd end up dumping hard. I do see this shoulder, kind of head and right shoulder. You see that? I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Shoulder, it looks a little bearishy. And again, what does Bitcoin do? If Bitcoin slops, this thing flops. But if Bitcoin stays strong, we get a strong move up. So we called a beautiful short squeeze here on the channel so far, all the way to 89,900. And boy, did we squeeze the shorts. And I told you we were about to. And again, I'm back to calling short squeezes on this channel like we did every day. Remember for like months on end, before, we traded the chop for a long time, but we called the short squeezes almost every single day. So 89,000 is hit. That was the key level that we wanted to see here for Bitcoin. Now we need to get this bounce. We've got to bounce and cross the 200 MA for the trade to stay alive. For Sammy to get his daily quota fit in place here. We came back to the 21. We did form a bit of a flag. This flag now has to take us to rip. And if you want, another trade possible here is an entry right here with that cross, but you're front running my oh-so favorite signal. We're about to find my signal here. Remember, I front run my signal by taking the same signal on the 32nd. I got in when we crossed the 32nd 200 MA. It made sense. 30-second Stokes are low, ready to rip. The 32nd is actually showing us some good signs. And look, a rounded bottom pays the bills. Rounded bottoms, man, send you further back to the upside. Suggest we can get back to 91 and then back inside the pattern, back inside the game, and ready to rock, baby. Super chat just came in there. Let me see from Christian Nelson. Sam, you're the man. The 99 is a blessing. Thank you for consistency and positivity. Want to throw virtual ecosystem on your radar? Yes. Could be a massive opportunity. Yes, we like it. We think it's hot. I have a setup in the trading group. I don't want to put it out right now because I have it in the trading group. But yes, it's hot. Thank you, Chris Nelson. I appreciate you. We are all over virtuals right now. And we have a setup for it. Token Metrics likes it. And if you're in my trading group, you know that we've gone over it numerous times. God bless you, though, because what if I didn't and you're reminding me of something great? You're an amazing person, and thank you so much for coming here and participating into the live like you did. That's a blessing. More people like you will change the stream. So, beautiful move to the upside for AVAX. However, what if it does a slump and it drops down to the 200 MA? If Bitcoin dumps, this is going to dump. It all depends on Bitty Bitcoin. Remember, screen share tonight. You're going to get an extra 2 hours of Sammy P. Morning, Sam. Can you check GPU? As the morning has now gone by, right? GPU, it struggled at $1 resistance point. Began trending down, although I feel I found support at 75. GPU, I believe, is going to move. It's got a good name. NEURAI is going to work, in my humble opinion. It's just going to take some time. That's all. And so I see this as bullish consolidation. And now it's back above the 72 resistance. For me, anywhere between 70 and 94 cents is your steal area. That's where you know what I mean? You got everyone broader pictures. If these coins are going to go as big as you think they are, and we're going to have the bigger rally that we think, then it doesn't matter whether you got it at 75 or 80, as long as you built a position in something you believe in. If I'm just talking like overall, if a person does it, I'm not saying you I don't know what you guys do. You do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. But, point of control there, tight. Just let the stochastics come on down and see where we land. But if you believe in this project, it's just a great place to accumulate. And I see this doing numbers. Just the name, the chart looks pretty simple and easy too as well. I like it. Caspa, Kraken listing. I mean, that's a big deal. We talked about getting into Caspa on that bounce. We said how important it was that Caspa got the bounce. And then I even made this flag and said it's likely to break out, but it dipped a little bit before it did that. Interesting. Extended the flag. Made a lower support or resistance right off that. I mean, yeah, previous resistance became support. And now you're bouncing back at 14. Love seeing Caspa back at 14. And again, some people say, oh, you can't use the smaller time frames, but sometimes you just have to. Right now, I mean, everything's about to follow Bitcoin. That's about to rip. I see Caspa about to do damage right now out this 1 minute flag. I mean, it's got hidden bullish divergence on the 1 minute time frame. What is hidden bullish? Swing down on the RSI, swing up on price action. Telling you going further up to 16,577 here for Caspa. I see Caspa breaking out and about to make a move as we speak. Again, you do whatever makes you happy. You could ape in and it could dump on you. I have no idea. I own Caspa. I'm not taking this trade right now. Bitcoin booming to the upside. Our trade doing very, very well. We are now moving like we're supposed to the upside here. And the trade is in gains. They're up 10% if you made the trade with me. 10% gains on the S&P a day would bug a lot of people out. We crossed this 200 MA, which it looks like we're going to because we have low Stokes. We are going to likely rip. And this is exciting times. And then we can start talking about the 15-minute getting back above the 200 MA, which it looks like it's going to do. And then we can talk about being back inside the pattern. And then we can actually make the same trade I made earlier today. Just as like, and we can be back on track for the pump back to $100,000. You see? I want to take this away for a second. But once we get back inside, line there. Once we get back inside, we go sideways. Boom. Then the measured move is back on for the original trade. Understood? I'll just move this away, right? And we get back inside here, go sideways, boom. We can trade that. And then the 1 hour would reset. We're back on that 1 hour. I called the beautiful trade for you just now. You got to love it. I used the 30-second 200 MA. Did a little experimental move there on my older signal, and it came on. It came out for us. So shout out to anyone here. Anyone make a live trade with the lifer here on stream? Anyone make a live trade with the lifer here on stream? We aim to help you and teach you how to trade live here every single day. We don't leave you to the wayside. I don't show up once a week. I'm here every single day. Virtual breakout, can we have a look? We have a chart on it in the trading group, so I got to skip that super chat. But know that I do like it, and it looks really nice. Casper, Kraken listing on the 19th. November, pumping now. Amen. Can you check out Scale? I like Scale. I've been in and out of it for long term. I think I own a little bit. Can you see when Scale crypto is going to blow up? Can you check Sulama and AP13? I like AP13 or AP13. I've never. Funny, right? Messing around. Let's take a look at Scale here. Caspa looks like it's about to blast to the upside for massive gains. You do you, though. I don't, Scale on Coinbase, too. Makes it simple and easy. So, there's a lot of coins that have popped already, and there's a lot of coins that are in what's called the accumulation zone. Celestia is doing this, right? The coin we just talked about, NEURAI. Eventually, you're going to crack the 200 MA, and I believe you're going to pump so hard. And this is just some of the greatest times to buy Scale before it pumps, in my humble opinion. I'm probably not going to do that. I have other positions and ideas. But I just want you to know if you follow this prediction, it's likely going to happen. And this is very simple. I know I'm not using a lot of TA here. That would be the accumulation. You would be looking to sell somewhere at 9 cents. Beautiful move. We would probably pull back on a fib after it does that. Maybe from like a secondary impulse there. Makes a giant cup and handle. And then we get our next rally, right? And then the bull run kind of ends at the all-time high at 18. And this thing does a 6x from where it's at, right? And from the very low, it does a 9x or more, That's what I see happening to Scale in the long term here. Beautiful place to accumulate in the green box. I would accumulate scot-free in this area without even thinking much about it. If I had $5,000, I'd put $1,000 every couple of days and know that months from now, I'd likely be in the upside. And again, who knows? I don't want to, you know what I mean? But that's how I trade. That's how I trade. And 90% of the time, I'm accurate. It's what I believe happens. So if I lose some, I lose some, but I don't lose that many. I win more than I lose. And it's really by being consistent. If you're consistent, you should win more than you lose over time. So SULAMA, you can see it's kind of following Bitcoin, same move there. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, inside of a tight channel. It's likely to break out right now, and it doesn't even have $1 million market cap. So this is very, if you're taking a risk on SULAMA, and it came up and dumped hard already. Like they already dumped it so bad. And it has not too much liquidity. I don't know, man. I'd be careful. Yeah, we're not your exit liquidity, but who knows? You guys know about a new coin now. It is starting to make a rounded bottom. They do, that. It's funny. Is this the Adam and Eve? I'm starting to see, see this? I'm starting to see things differently. But, I know it's crazy, but, these are Adam and Eves, but they're just hard to understand that they are. They end up playing out just like them. They're just slanted. So interesting. Tells me maybe you found something here at one of the smallest market caps ever. I mean, this is one of the smallest Sui memes. SULAMA. All right. We're going to take a look at AP13. God bless you all. Thank you for Ninders, Jason, Andrew Dama, all the awesome people here, Christian Nelson, and the like. We love you all. Oh, I got through all the super chats. It's amazing. I thought there was so many more to go. We got to look at AGLD, though. And we got to look at API 3 real quick. I like it. Bitcoin about to do damage. Doing damage. Remember, you have 86,400 minutes throughout the day. How do you use those minutes? If you relax, make sure they're good relaxing moments. I like to relax. I take my shirt off. I tell myself I'm going to get sun for 15 minutes in the lanai. 20 minutes, I set the alarm, and it's a conscious motion of relaxation. I like this trade here. I got my weeks account cooking. Look at that, back above 7 for, just, oof. I'm so happy I bought all that render. It's going to pay me huge and better than just keep, 100 Pepe breaking out. We actually just went over this. That thing's moving. So now when they see that Bitcoin getting rejected by the 15, but we're seeing a beautiful flag. Ooh, it broke the flag. And double top. Look at that. If that hadn't done that, that trade was looking beautiful. So look, rejected by the 200 MA so far. No go. Sounded like she said flag. What? That was weird. Wow. So the trade was up a hundo and they just took it all back. It was up a hundo for a while too, right? Sorry, I gotta clean this up. We got rejected by the 200 MA. That's no go. What I would do is I would flash close my position right now. Just wait for me here. And I want to see us get back above the 2. So I'm going to wait for price to cross the 200 on the 1 minute time frame. Okay. If price crosses the 200, if it gets, because this could be making an inverted head and shoulder here. Look. Be super careful about your entries. The more scrutiny you put on your entries, the better off you're going to be over time. The higher your win percentage. I want this to break above the 200 MA or I'm not getting in. You see? Just weird. I thought we were so much further ahead on price action than I realized. So what I like about it, if we break above the 200 MA, the entry will be somewhere up here, and the stop loss will end up being there. I can already see the trade I want to make before the trade happens. So I would love to execute this. And see, this is my model. So I set out my model before it even plays out, and I get ready to execute the model. You see what I'm saying? Now this may just continue to dump, and so be it. That's okay. Then I don't execute the model. I don't go at the trade. Very simple way to trade. See. You do just whatever the market tells you to do and nothing different. You don't sway, you don't change, you don't, and use the same amount of risk over and over again and make sure you don't go full port. And that's basically the style. There we go, going lower than the stop loss would be for me. And then look, are we losing the 30-second 200? We're coming down to it. We tested it twice. Looks like we may come down and test it again. So it's oh so important that the 1 minute broke that 200 MA. You see that? No good that we got rejected by it. Rarely happens like that. It looked like we were likely ready for the pump. For the pump. But that's why I don't front run it. Because, you know, I can't believe I front run it there. It's very rare for me to do that, what I just did there. That's very rare of me. Very unlike me to do. I still believe there could be a trade here, though. We could be making this. This could turn into an inverted head and shoulder, which looks likely. Just looks like we're going on bigger consolidation. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. We start to make our move back to the upside here for Bitcoin. Understood? For sure. All right. Shout out to the chat revenue, $121. God bless you. Can you look at Matt on Solana? Okay. Sam, you're the man. Yep. Thank you for considering. Thank you. Can you check API 3, please, Lifer? Thank you. Yeah. Okay. I like this coin. I personally own it. Look at that. Shoulder, head, and right shoulder on the daily. Still kind of see it here on the 4 hour, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. And we did break out. And wow, this is just one of those coins that's in the accumulation phase. It's in this just up and down area. Beautiful time. I mean, it's the rounded bottom. Eventually, it's going to break a high, another high, and then it's going to rip. And I've seen it so many times that I'm just like, yep, that's what it does. Now, you got rejected by the 200 MA, and you're overbought a bit. But you still see, it's interesting. I'd have to look at the, you know, you're going to do whatever the Bitcoin does too. So we already know what we want to see happen. Can we get it? Can it happen? You know, we need to make it happen now. API 3 has been a bit messy to look at. Here you have this trend line. I feel like this was it. You faked out, broke out, and fell back inside the pattern. Had a promise, you know, and so now what you want to see is just get tight in here. What if it makes a head and shoulders and it drops back down to the 200 MA? It could. You want to see it get tight and then boom out. It's likely it's going to pump because the market's so much more euphoric, but you just never know. And so we're looking for possibly this move here. I don't know, to 245. But it looks sketchy compared to most, and it's got to be more of a conviction play of like, do you actually believe in this project or not? But yeah, I do, so I'm in it. You know, I'll go from there. Can you look at Matt on Soul? Yeah. Matt on Soul. Getting the sweet spot. I really like $10 million market caps for memes. That's my favorite spot because it made it from like the few 100 million to, you know, and it's usually balanced out at that point. That's like that's my sweet spot. I like to buy a $10 million meme and then ride it to 100 mil for a 10x. You know what I mean? And then move on. Like that's kind of I'm happy with that. I don't need to 100x my meme. 100x before. It's cool. I'd like to do it hundreds of times again, but it just doesn't have to happen every time. Should have make enough to have way more than I had before and not be greedy about it. Look at this guy just bought 9,860 MAD for $99. A lot of small buys in for MAD. I don't see like any 2,000, just little bits. It's kind of accumulating too, like it could break on out. It's making a rounded bowl. I don't know anything about it. What's the deal? Memes after dark. Interesting. Matt is a wild DJ me. He's either, I don't know. It's all right. Memes after dark. Crypto was a vibe. I don't know. Seems kind of like You know, I don't know. Like PNUT had way more going for it than that. Right? Yeah. Hey, Sammy, can you take a look? Give me your thoughts on Peak. Small market cap. Peak's all right. We knew about it back in the day. It's okay. Yeah. It's all right. I think there's better out there, but, you know. You know what? I like Peak, but it doesn't seem to market itself that well, right? It's starting to move there to the upside, right? Tiny market cap. I don't see how this thing doesn't then gain some steam eventually, though. All right. Some people are afraid, though, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like there's some people that, like, they don't want to, like, but I mean, it's tiny. And it's been out for a week, and it's still alive, right? I think we looked at it yesterday, so it's up nicely already from when we first looked at it. It's up 100%. So, you never know, huh? Didn't I buy? I feel like I bought it. Well, let me see if I bought it. At the end of the show, we get a little more personable, you know. I thought I did. I guess I didn't. Look, Truth Terminal name, Tim. It may blow up. Bunch of garbage coins, right? Steve will do it, man. I believed in his coin, man. That's horrible, bro. That's horrible. Never, oh, man. Whatever. I guess things happen, but dang, man. I believe in you, Steve, man. I believed in you, Steve. And people laughed at me and made fun of me for it, too, man. And I believed in you. I think he could have made it happen. Look, BABYFRED now. I mean, he was a little squirrel, so BABYFRED could go. It's just too much. It's too much. You know what I mean? I just get overwhelmed. Like, it's just too much. Like, Maya, like, this is someone's dog that you're supposed to know who it is. Solito is probably someone else's dog. It's like Doge's brother, you know, it's just one thing after the next. PNUT on Sol, which will try to confuse you because this isn't the real PNUT. It's a different PNUT. Right? Or is it the same PNUT? No, the other PNUT's got $1 billion market cap. Like, what is this? It just confuses people, man. PNUT comes back with AI PNUT. You know what I mean? It's just like crazy. It's never ending, guys. You could sit here all day and just fire away at these memes. Like, I'd much rather trade Lev and like understand my Bitcoin positions and be in control of what I'm doing. I'm not saying I don't take a shot on a meme here and there. I will. Right? I like GINNAN. I like GINNAN right now because I'm a TA guy. And GINNAN, the cat, right? They're still pretty hot cat memes right now. It's got a $34 million market cap. It's got an Adam and Eve double bottom that suggests it goes up 170. It's already actually up when we first talked about it. Up about 43 and at one point up 82. So like, hey, looking like it's going to continue to the upside, but you never know. I like GINNAN as a meme as well. You could write it down, right? And I don't have any GINNAN at the moment. Sometimes I don't even have enough cap. I don't like, I've positioned, like right now I'll put 100 grand in. I guess I could have bought it. I put 80 grand into render yesterday, right? You guys saw me buy like $80,000 worth of render. But, and then I don't buy a meme. And you're like, oh, you would have made more on the meme. But like, I don't know, man. I like conviction money and things that I believe in. Bitcoin looks like it's going to rip here and get busy back to the upside eventually. Only a matter of time. They're fighting it, but seems like it's setting up for a move. That's the nice cup. There's a handle there in a way. That's a cup and handle right there. Look, Sammy, and this is why they call me Sammy Cup and Handy, because like, if we're going to trade it, we're going to find it, we're going to get it, and get rid of this now. And again, my trading style knew when the short was pretty much, I didn't even have to lose on the short. I just had to cut off. And look, this is a giant inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, right shoulder that likely going to break to the upside. That's a known reversal pattern. So everything kind of starting to show signs of life here for a move to the upside for Bitcoin. We got to get back above that 15-minute 200. It's looking like we're going to, the way they're behaving, but you never know. Also could be a descender, right, that wants to dump on us. Very tight inside the channel here for Bitcoin as well. Can we get further to the upside is the question. And then maybe up to there, right? Look at it. It's called, I see shoulder, head, and shoulder here. We did not get above the 200 MA. Thou shalt not pass go. We have to crack this. I will not open the long until we crack that. I've learned my lesson too many times. They've played with me too many times. Okay? This stinks, man, because if we break that, like we have a huge day. We don't, then we can go to the lows and like we could start seeing the bigger time frames collapse. And this was just a failed rally that did not get us back above the key levels. I would like to see this make a flag and continue its way, but only time will tell. Shout out to the channel sponsors, I Trust Capital and Decrypto.tax. I Trust Capital, the best place to get it in. They even have PEPE, DOGE with that, and more. Both up green in the last 24 hours, as well as Polkadot. Solana ripping to the upside, holding 215. You got to love Solana. Near Protocol, they added ICP and SWI. I Trust Capital, where you can buy and sell your cryptocurrency tax-free inside of a Roth IRA and gold and silver, right? You can also, they custody the Bitcoin for you, so you don't have to stress about having the Bitcoin, in your possession if you're not, a lot of people just aren't ready for that for whatever reason. Wow, we fell out that beautiful flag. Things were looking great. Now it's a bit of a falling wedge, right? Like I just showed you on that other chart. Charting graphs. Aren't these graphs? These are technically graphs. I'm a graph analysis. I'm a grapher. I'm a graph hopper. Get it? Graph hopper. I don't know. That's funny. So can we... Ugly. Shoulder, head, right shoulder, slanted, dump. Measured move is the length of this pole to the downside. Likely what Bitcoin's going to go right now, right to the target at 88.1. Dang, man. Tough times. Anyway, I got to jump on out of here, everybody. Moon with a bull on soul. I like Moon. It's hot. Pepe's going to continue likely. You guys send super chats late. Super chats after 12 o'clock I cannot do. Okay? The show goes from 10 to 12 every single day. On the banner, I just want to make that clear. Please don't be pissed at me if I don't do a super chat on my way out. It is 12:29. I've gone a half an hour over the live stream. And I could continue to go and it will never end. And I could do super chats till the end of time. So it will be good if just after 12:15, we just know that it's just like I'm not likely going to get to the super chat at that point. And you cannot get mad at me for it. Please. Dear Lord. All right. Can you look at Pepe, please? I'll do it for Pepe, for Margaret, because she's been in the trade. She's been in the class, and she's such a sweet person. Let's take a look at Pepe. Pepe ripped. Is it going to continue? It looks like it will. It came right back to key support or resistance here. And then made a big flag. And that flag looks like it could continue to rip. Babe, the paver guy's here. The paver guy looks like he's here. Yeah, I don't know why. You just start it and I'll be right there. So, what you want to do is kind of, even though this is kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but like, can Pepe make this? Or did it just break out already and continue up? So everything's depending. When Bitcoin breaks out, this turns green and then we rip. I would get into a trade right here with a long, with a stop loss below this key area because the Stokes are pointing up. And you have hidden bullish divergence. Pepe is likely going to head up right now, in my humble opinion, and go for more. Very high odds Pepe continues, but you do whatever makes you happy. And a stop loss could be there or below 1779. But again, you got to figure out if that works for you in your technical analysis. But it works for me. I say Pepe goes up and I come back tomorrow and I get to look smart and say, yeah, remember when I said about Pepe going up due to the hidden bullish divergence? Yeah. It also says this flag may play out very beautifully for Bitcoin. It's just an elongated inverted now. And we're going to get our move. I have faith we're going to get our move here for BTC. I got to hone in right here. See, if you miss this moment where it breaks, it could boom. A half an hour to 2 hours from now, you're going to see that this could likely happen. You got to be preemptive about these trades before, or you're going to miss them. You have to be ready for them before they happen, or you will miss them. That's why traders hit, because they have a plan before it happens. All the more pro traders, advanced traders see it before it happens. They don't wait for it. They execute. I already have the trade waiting for me. All right, everyone, I gotta love. May God bless. I gotta go. May God bless each and every one of you. Moon with the bull is hot. I say it continues. That's all I got for you. Everybody, thank you so much for jumping on in. I figured we nailed Bitcoin today. Had a pretty good time. Shout out to everybody here on the live. $155 in chat revenue. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Stay in the trading group tonight. We have the weekly screen share. It's going to be an absolutely blast. I'll be with you guys there from 8 to 9:30. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for sharing your most precious asset, and that is your time. I'll see you tomorrow. May God bless you.